quickest thing I've ever seen.
Woy Pom is trying his best to tempt fate by tweeting, "Bugger me, what? Well, really? We've done it. We shaved that down."
Wow. Wow.
Indeed.
I think I can.
Do you know what?
Go on.
I didn't want to say this before, but I put the bet on, didn't I?
You did?
I got 6 to 1. I put 5 on England at 6 to 1.
Yeah, 30 quid in the kitty for the pub as well. Too early, too soon.
Better turn it off. I think there's only 1 ball to go. We were just about to win that T20. That was a crazy T20 when England chased down about 230, 223, something like that, a couple of years ago. Things were a bit different then. We were in Katie's flat. But now we are going to start the second innings. And Virat Kohli has come out. No, he hasn't come out to open. He's just telling me he's captain. It's Shikhar Dhawan who's going to face up to the first ball. Bowled by Patrick Cummins, and he drives that into the offside and immediately sets off for a single. 1 for none after 1. They're going to win!
And let's jing up the batsman, shall we? So Shikhar Dhawan first of all.
Shikhar Dhawan.
And at the other end, I think it's Rohit, isn't it?
Yeah, it will be. He's going to face his first ball. 313 required. He just defends that into the offside. Thinks about a run, but there's an umbrella field out there. There's a slip gully. There's a backward point cover, extra cover, and a mid-off. They've basically got the offside covered, and they're all up inside the circle. Won't be a run out there unless you thread it like the eye of a needle. Is anyone with us on the tweets to bring us back?
Well, I'm going back about 12 minutes. Dr. Leonie Hicks says, what is it with gorillas and animals today? Parrots, spiders, and now bats. Bats is fair enough in cricket.
Exactly. They get mentioned a lot. Oh, you're having a can of Guinness. Yeah, it's got the widgety thing in it. Cummins is in, defended nicely off the face of the bat by Rohit, out to cover, and ain't no run.
Messi Jez says, to say nothing of ducks, geese, and bears.
This is true. These all came up.
And Dr. Leonie Hicks says the commentary is a positive bestiary.
Indeed.
Shall I jingle up the bowler?
Yes, let's have a go.
Paceman Pat, and his baggy green cap. Early in the morning, just before the warm-up, he has to pull out with a dodgy back.
Crick Tracker are back with us. As Cummins comes to the bowl and the sun is setting, and it's driven back to him by Rohit. Not particularly well timed. 6 out Paul, misses it. Mid-off is up. It's Aaron Finch, who batted really well today. Got 93, was unlucky. Got given an LBW. I didn't think it was LBW.
No, it was a weird review.
It was a
wasn't
weird
it?
review.
Yeah.
It didn't look right, and Hawkeye looked wrong.
Yeah.
Very strange. It seems Hawkeye seems to show the ball sort of carrying on straight from pitching. I thought it turned back far enough to be at least clipping the outside of leg stump, which would have remained out because it was given out on field. Ooh, Rohit tries to drive that with a not very straight bat outside his off stump. His foot's not across. Gets a toe end into his pad, and there's no run. India won't panic about this score. That's the one thing you know about India. And if these two get going, I think if these two get going, they probably cruise it.
Yeah. If they get going as they can get going,
yeah. I mean, even if one of them gets out, I mean,
yep.
I don't think. I think India are a bit better. We'll not get in a situation that Australia got. They lost those 4 quick wickets.
Have you made a bet?
No, I haven't yet,
right.
but I will do. I imagine the problem is India will be odds on now. That's defended into the leg side by Rohit. Last ball of the first over. They just got the single from Shikhar off the first ball of the match, of the innings even.
The Beijing Ducks CC say, I'm not watching but listening. Are the Indian batsmen wearing camouflage helmets as well?
Ah.
No.
I don't think so.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
No.
That dial looks good on that advert.
And Mog says, Gorilla Cricket, son of a bitch, I forgot to renew my subscription to the archive.
Well, you can do it today.
£20 a year?
£20 a year. All the matches have been going up. You'll be able to listen to everything. Anything you've missed will be up there. Let's have some hellos from Crit Tracker. Amandine Virat says India win. They're the best.
Very neutral.
Inshallah, India win, says Abdurrahman Sadiq. And who else have we got? Fazal Afridi says India lose today. So I think India win, but 300 is never an easy chance. It's a decent score.
Well, it is on this pitch.
It is. It's the highest first inning score on this
Yeah.
pitch, in fact. That is Jai Richardson is the bowler from the other end. He looks like about 12.
Let's jingle up, shall we? He does
Yeah.
like 12, yeah.
Jai Richardson, he loves to bowl, loves to bowl, loves to bowl. He spells his first name weird, you know, Jhye.
Yeah, got a bit of swing into Shikhar.
What's his pace?
Well, he's. I don't know what that last ball was, but he's a 90 mile an hour man. That is
That
quick.
looked
It's pretty quick.
Yeah.
And slight shape into the left-hander. It's just defended out to point. And there's no run. I mean, this is the thing. The other thing, Australia, if they can get some scoreboard pressure build up, India need to go in the first 10 overs. I mean, 2 fielders out, and you want to try and get those boundaries in, don't you? And they've got to keep up with 6 and over.
Yeah.
Long way to go though, 50 overs as well. Flip side, I suppose. You can always catch up, especially with the resources they've got. Jai Richardson, he's up to the crease and swings that into the pads of Shikhar, who clips it out to mid wicket. I think that's Sean Marsh there.
It's also the experience they've got with Kohli and Dhoni.
Yes.
Both so good at trying. Well, some would argue Dhoni has a strange way of going about
Well,
it.
yeah, he likes to make it theatrical, doesn't he? He likes taking it down to the last over.
Well, I think there's something about him that is very stubborn, isn't there?
Yeah, well, I suppose he's in his swan song. He's been there, done it all. Jai Richardson in, driven out by Shikhar. Very good fielding at point. I presume that's Maxwell there. That's where they normally stick him. It is indeed. It's a great bit of fielding.
I've just finished reading a book about Dhoni, and he certainly is a very impressive man.
Yes.
Well, just from
What do you mean by impressive?
from his background,
Okay.
and how determined he was to get going and keep going, and the obvious natural skill that he has.
Absolutely. Oh, he's been an absolute stalwart and star of Indian cricket, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Clipped out to Marsh once again. Can't miss the field of Shikhar. And that's 5 dots in this over as well. So it's a good start by Australia.
I also feel like Australia's fielding will help them out today, because India made a lot of mistakes in the field, didn't they?
Yeah.
It cost them some runs. Might be the difference. That drop catch, as you said before, Bear, on 17, Khawaja was dropped. Could have been different.
Well,
it would have been different.
Would have been very different.
Well, yes.
It's all this sounds of maybes of sport now, isn't it? I mean, that fucking penalty the other day, that Man United
Oh, God.
driven at by...
The VAR penalty.
Yeah, the VAR penalty. Driven out to mid-off, and there is no run. I mean, when you look at it in slow-mo, and the guy does stick his arm out, really. I mean, he's
if
there
you look
to
at
cover the
anything in
space.
slow-mo, then
Yeah, but I mean, clearly he's making himself bigger by putting his arms out. I think there's a legitimate call for a penalty there.
Yeah, I think like when Neymar came out and said it didn't hit his hand, and yes,
it did.
yes, it did hit his hand. Was it too close and smashed at him? Yes.
No, it wasn't actually.
It wasn't that close.
No,
It
he
was
wasn't
outside
the
the box.
closest man. He was. It was a shot from outside the box, and he was
Yeah.
inside the box. There was a player between him and the guy who jumped.
It's just such a big call, though, wasn't it? I mean,
It was a big
the
call,
90th
and to get it as an away call as
Yeah,
well. I was
exactly,
like, whoa, bloody
yeah.
hell! There you go. That doesn't normally. I
And
suppose
what
they
it-
have neutral refs.
And what it meant is they went through.
But let's get back to the cricket, shall we? The next over has started, and Rohit has played that beautifully back with a point, beats the infield, races away to the back of point boundary for 4 runs.
4. Good God, yeah.
I also think I've heard that then next year they're going to change the rules on handball. That if it hits your hand, it's a handball. There's
Yes.
no ifs and buts and maybes, and that's probably the way forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you're going to have VAR.
Yeah.
It kind of clears up the intentionality of it, doesn't it, really?
Well, also it clears up someone making that decision that, it's interpretive decision, isn't
Yeah,
it? So
exactly. That's played out to cover by Rohit on the front foot. No run, straight to the man. Yeah, it's a funny one. VAR's going to be interesting.
Oh God, yeah.
I don't like it.
Nah, you'll get used to it. I quite like it. Adds drama. It's much like DRS.
Yep.
A lot of people didn't like it because occasionally it's, you know, it seems a bit unfair. So what? It makes the drama. Sport's all about drama.
You like a bit of drama,
I
do
do
you?
like
Yeah,
it. That's
you
what
like a bit of
sport's
drama.
about, you know. It's when it gets exciting. It's, you know, dull ODI where something.
That's why you're not into county cricket then.
No, I mean I can sit and watch a few hours of county cricket if I had time. That's played out to cover by Rohit. Again, they've got a man at short cover. There's a man backwards, slightly square. There's a guy wide gully.
I just
there's a
would like
slip
to
and a
say
mid-off.
quickly that I love my county cricket. It's not a.
If I had time and I didn't have kids and all that nonsense, I could quite probably happily go down.
Take
on a
your
hot
bloody
sunny day.
kids to the county.
They're at school, I suppose. I don't
Yeah,
know.
because
Take them
they're
out of school.
well, they're put
If
on.
I
The
tell you
games
what,
are put on
actually,
at the bloody week working
If
week.
my
aren't
wife
they?
gets a job, then I'll have more time during the day as well.
Take your kids. It's exposure kids need. I mean, and,
Well,
and
I
exposure
know.
to cricket, not.
Cummins is up to the crease.
Talking to Michael Jackson. Yeah.
And driven into the ground by Rohit. Square behind square. Get the bloody door, Hendo!
I think Tony might
Someone's
be.
very angry ringing on the door. Rohit hits that into the ground square to Maxwell at backward point.
I have a tweet from Pirate Badshaw. He's keeping us up to date with the Ireland game.
Oh, yes.
So after 10 overs, Ireland are 36 for 3, chasing 224. Porterfield gone for 21. Bowell, Bernie gone for a duck. Sterling gone for 11.
You see, they're following. These two teams seem to follow each other in their
Yeah.
innings. Exactly the same thing happened in the last match. Rohit plays that again square, again to Maxwell behind square. Or was it Carey? I think it was Maxwell. People.
Oh,
Parcel for
Tony.
next door.
come on, Tony.
Oh, mate.
They might have wanted to done some commentary.
What,
We could have
downstairs?
asked them.
They've got a new baby.
What, the postman? You mean?
Yeah, the post.
Oh.
Yeah. Grab him. What do you know about cricket, mate?
Like postman Pat Cummins. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Pat is up to the crease.
Oh.
Oh, that's a lovely shot. Rohit just played. Oh my word, that's 6. Rohit just played that through the line, easy as you like, straight back over the bowler's head. It's Pat Cummins. Don't bowl slow, and it's over the boundary straight for 6.
For a
Amazing.
maximum.
Oh, that's what you can do.
Yeah.
As we watch adverts for crazy Indian programs.
Where's that one? Where's the one with the
Stream.
doll again? That's what we want.
The Dalek.
The doll.
Oh,
The doll.
Dalek.
Be interesting on Indian TV.
Yeah.
I have a tweet.
Hold on. Jai Richardson, first ball next over. Athletically catches it on a follow through as Shikhar drives it into the ground and catches on the bounce. Go for it.
I have a tweet from Gurpreet Singh Gill.
I know a Gurpreet Singh. Go on.
All right, your analysis is quite decent, guys. However, I was missing you for a long, long time, approximately 2 to 3 months. I miss you a lot.
Aww.
Well,
Thanks
we're,
very much.
Sorry.
Well, glad to have you back.
we're here a lot now. We're covering a lot of series at the
Yeah.
moment.
Well, there's a lot of stuff this year, as you know.
Endless cricket.
There's endless cricket going in. Oh, I might have a short break after this. I know IPL starts on 23rd of March, don't it? We'll be doing some of that. That's driven by Shikhar out to cover, and there's no run. We can't do it all. I don't think we've got the resources, but we'll certainly be doing weekend double headers, and we might try and do 1 or 2 games in a week. There'll be more pop-up-y things because we'll kind of do it last minute, and someone will go, yeah, let's go and do an IPL match, and everyone will go, yeah. That'll happen 1 or 2 days a week if we're lucky. So we should have some stuff for you. We're doing the entirety of the World Cup, maybe splitting that with our South African cousins.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of games there to do as well, so spread the load. Again, it's all about resources, isn't it? Oh, it's out!
Oh.
That's an amazing catch by Maxwell.
Wow.
Shikhar has hit that hard. He's so good in that position. He's hit that hard and low, and it's skimming in the air.
He's a
And
good fielder.
He just
isn't he?
dives to his right, Goldie style, and it caught it with 2 hands as well. Amazing catch, Maxwell. 11 for 1, India. Shikhar is out. That's a damn good catch, man.
Really.
On your bike, mate.
I have a tweet from Messi Jez.
Ah, yes, Messi.
saying, I have no idea who Neymar is, but whenever you mention his name, I immediately have images of the fun police in bright coats in dreadful holiday camps in the 50s. He really isn't like that.
No,
Couldn't
he
be
isn't.
further away.
No. And Mog says, if my wife gets a job, is that a subtle hint, Bear?
It was more than subtle, I think.
I don't think it wasn't supposed to come out like that. You know.
Mia Katie says, there's plenty of drama in county cricket. Where else can you get shot at by a crossbow?
Well, this is true.
Absolutely. I love my county cricket. Well, you
Now
and I
that
both
could
do,
be
Katie.
Tony.
The
At the
postman's
door.
here. Quick hand though, you missed the parcel.
And there is a lot of drama at county cricket, though. It was a fantastic season.
Oh no! I mean, this is the thing. If I sit and watch a game of cricket, I love the game. So you know,
It's just you
I
don't
could
have the
find
time
drama
because
in
your
it.
wife hasn't got a job.
Well, and I'm also
Yeah.
I'm in here an awful lot. I
Yes.
do watch an awful lot of cricket. You know, funnily enough.
Just not live.
Well, it is live. It's just on a TV. It's not at the ground. You know, sometimes it would be much nicer to be at the ground. Sorry, we're yapping. Kohli's come in. Let's have a good jingle.
I'll play it. I'll do it now. Go on.
The Aussies, they weren't nice to you. They said bad things about your sister.
Played square.
So you raised
To
your middle
Maxwell at point.
finger.
No run by
So
Kohli.
you raised your middle finger. Virat Kohli.
And that was the right thing to do, Virat, as well. The Australians, they can take it.
That's a brilliant jingle. I really like
It
that.
is. That's a
Who's that?
classic.
So the Cranberries.
It's the Cambries Lingo with
Yeah.
Sherwood doing
Yeah.
his
Who
thing
did
over
the
top.
tweet?
The
Jingle Robber, who
jingle,
did the jingle?
James Sherwood,
Ah.
musical comedian.
Yes, excellent.
He defends it, does Cody into the floor, and there's no run. He used to be a regular way back in the day. I don't know what he's doing now. He's got a couple of kids.
Does
Lives
he?
in Peckham.
Oh.
That's about all I know. Just one ball to go in a fourth over.
Tony is here, isn't he? That's
Tony is,
definitely
yes. Those dulcet tones.
So isn't Richardson's got Kohli out 3 times this year.
Oh, has he? Ah,
So-
there we go. And he's into him now. Bowls, and it's blocked by Kohli into the ground, out to that short cover. They've got a short cover there for Rohit and Virat, as they think that they'll drive it a little bit in the air through there, and they like to drive it through that space.
That's because they're proper players.
Absolutely.
If they can suddenly get Kohli now, though, then it changes.
Well,
the whole-
that's it. I mean, if Cody goes now, then the pressure's on. But, well,
They've got so many
excuse me,
more.
this is a perfect setup for, isn't it, MS? Coming in, final game, it's home
It's a
ground.
bit early, I think.
What, 21? No, that's the heroes going out, man. Chasing down 311 from 20 for 2. MS Dhoni gets 150. That's the story, man. Ooh, and Kohli is nearly out. And he's beaten all ends up by Cummins, comes back into and gets inside edge. Oh, sorry, that was Rohit. It wasn't Virat Kohli. This is the next over, isn't it?
Yep.
Sorry, excuse me there, people. Inside edge just over his stump, surely, wasn't it? No, inside his leg stump. Inside edge. Goes away for 4 runs, though.
You gotta have fun, Woody. You gotta have fun to be more.
Cummins is turning it. He's a mighty fine bowler. He's in now and he bowls, and Rohit just defends it from the crease out to that short cover.
He's
and there's
certainly
no run.
been good recently, hasn't he?
Oh, he
I mean,
has.
yeah.
Last couple. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, he was mainly injured, wasn't he, for about
Yeah.
3 or 4 years?
When he's fit, he's good.
When he was
He's-
fit,
yeah.
he was good. But maybe you get that bit past your sort of teen years and early 20s, and the body settles down, doesn't it? So
Does it?
yeah, I think so. In sporting terms. Well, that's what you hear.
Andy,
From,
you're
it's
one's
what you hear
better.
from, well, no, you hear some football teams, and you listen to the physios and stuff. Even though you kind of stop growing after puberty and all that, the next 3 or 4 years it's still bulking out and stuff, and the bones are still changing a little bit. And in stress sports, that's where you can get a lot of injuries. But then it
Especially if you're a fast bowler.
yeah, exactly. But then when everything, that's out. That has got to be out. You cannot not give that out, umpire.
They're going to review that, surely.
They've got to review that. That's kept low. Come back into Rohit. hit him right in front of the stumps. I mean, that's as plumb can be. I'm sorry, man.
I think
And it's gone down to a long leg. Unless he got it off the inside edge of the bat. No, there's an Australian review. Absolutely right. If he didn't hit that, I'm sorry. That's out, man.
Are they doing it?
It's got to be.
I'll be reviewing the opposition.
Actually, it's a lot. It's a bit hit him higher than I thought. Actually, it's hit him on the knee roll. I thought that hit him on the shin.
Well, you were wrong last. One of
I
the
was.
last
He
times,
got a
so-
chance. It's not out. No, he's not that far off the ground, and he's quite far back. And it looks like it's going quite flat.
I think it's hit.
It's definitely hit the pad before it's hit the bat.
Yeah, it's not hit the bat, is it?
Well, no, I don't think it has. Yeah, I think it's hit the bat there. But it's definitely pad first. You can see it's hit the pad there. The bat's not near it. We are into review. It's hit in line, and it's hitting. It is. It's hitting the top and middle stump underneath the bails. This is Tony's day, mate. I'm telling you.
God.
A 12 for 2, 14 for 2, 15 for 2.
Wow, there we go. We said 2 down, didn't we?
I did. I said 20 for 2, didn't I? Donny gets 150. Here we go.
Time for the experienced batsman then.
Absolutely. This is the Donny show.
Donny and Coley show.
Who is it? Is it Ryadu not next?
Yeah, I think it is actually. Okay, 21 for 3. Donny. No, I think they'll be all going mental in India if that happens. Sherry Green says if King Cody does score big and he always loses. Angry face, angry face, angry face. Come on, guys. Support your captain and win the series. Everyone's supporting their captain. Donny gets respect from Assad from Pakistan. As does Assad. They all give him respect. And that's about it.
Yeah.
15 for 2.
I have no tweets for 10 minutes.
No, really? Oh dear,
Come
the
on,
world's
guys.
gone quiet. Come on, guys. I know it's only the first 10 overs. It's going crazy out there. Ryudu is the next man in.
Can't find a jingle.
No jingle, no tweet.
No, he's definitely in there. I played it the other day. His first ball, he's a pretty good bat himself, actually, Ryudu. He didn't bat particularly well in the last game as he guides that down to third man. There's no run. He got bogged down a bit, but I scored some good runs not that long ago.
I'm being silly. I found it.
The guy that's coming to bat got plenty to say, yeah. Though he's just a little lad, he'll blow you away, yeah. Oh, he's Ambati Ryudu. He's Ambati Ryudu.
Cody drives that hard through the covers. There's someone there who shakes his hand as it bursts through it and goes out towards the boundary. They come back for 2. It's Stoinis. He hit that bloody hard to Cody. You couldn't stop it.
At least it wasn't a shin, I suppose.
No. I don't know how the umpire didn't give that last one out, you know.
It looked so out, didn't it?
It looks so out. Maybe he thought the bat came down on it first.
I think that can be the only reason why not, can't it?
Yeah.
It's not, definitely doesn't look high.
No.
It looks straight.
And if you're if you're the umpire, you know it's not high. That's a great shot by Coley. Classic, drives it, beautiful, all on the deck, out past gully for the third man boundary. 4 runs.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Right, can someone bring me another beer, please, from that fridge?
That's impressive. Isn't it even like 3 or 4 overs? Is it?
First one always slips down quick, you know.
Oh, story of my life.
Not the story of my life.
Oh, okay.
That's the problem with beer.
Beer, okay. Yeah.
Oh, Mog's tweeted him.
Hello, Mog.
Hi, Mark. Keep us company.
Donny will probably come in at 6 so he can really guide home a memorable victory.
That's what I was saying. I thought he'd come in
And
with...
he a hero, forgotten by Sunday.
Oh,
He says.
thank you, Hendo. You
thank
actually
you.
listened.
He's been a good T-boy today, Hender.
He has actually. He's been doing very well.
12th, isn't he?
Indeed. 22 for 2.
That terrible big collar is really upsetting me.
Oh.
Wow.
It is a bit wanky, isn't it?
Well,
Really?
it suits them.
Cummins is in. Beautiful drive by Ryudu, but into the ground, bounces up, and it's taken above the head by the man at point, who I assume is Maxwell. And if we go back to this LBW,
They keep going back to it.
they keep going back to it, thinking about bat before pad. For me, that's definitely pad before bat, man.
It doesn't look close.
No, exactly. It hits the pad there. The bat's nowhere near it.
Bias.
I imagine if it had been given out, Rohit, if he thought he hit it, would have probably reviewed as well, gone the other way. Driven at by Ryudu, beaten on the outside edge. Quick delivery from Jai Richardson. And yep, beats his outside edge through to the keeper. And
They're
there's no
really analysing it quite heavily, aren't they?
I'm just thinking that now would be a good time to bet on India. Where's my phone? Can you bring my phone? I bet the odds have gone right out. Well, not too far out, but reasonably out that you can put a bet on them.
You'll wait until Kohli gets given out then, but
oh god, if you go then, yeah, possibly. Outside of Ryudu's outside edge again. He just prods forwards, get beaten outside there. And it's through to Carey, and there's no run. And 6th over, 22 for 2. Rohit was. I
think he was surprised to be given out.
I think he was surprised to be given out.
He doesn't look happy up there at all, does he?
He thinks that
He thinks he. What? He thinks that he hit it first.
Yeah.
Come on, man. No. It's defended out into the offside by Ryudu, and there's no run. You can be upset about it, but for me, that hit pad first, clearly. I mean, we all called it, didn't we? We all said that was out.
Straight away.
Straight away. I said that's out and it hit him.
Yeah.
Ryudu faces up. It's not Richardson, it's Cummings. They got the fucking bowler wrong on the bottom of the screen.
No, it's
Richardson.
No, it's
Yeah,
Richardson.
God, he looks like Cummings from behind.
He's like a 13-year-old.
He looks
Yeah,
like
but from-
Cummings
from-
from behind.
From a shot pulled back. Oh, hold on. Thank you, Tony.
Tony's in the building.
Hello, Tony.
He's actually got similar sort of width shoulders. Maybe it is the collars. He's got a small head and broad shoulders. Required weight has gone up to 6.59. That's recoverable from.
Early days.
It's early days. This is it.
It's well recovered.
If India get another wicket. Again, that's a beautiful shot. Cody plays it down once more to that favourite spot of his on the
Such a
backward
beautiful
point
shot.
boundary. It is such a beautiful shot. All on the ground. Stretches forward. Plays it out the meat of the bat. Lovely. 4 runs. Our top fan. We got a top fan. I don't know how you get a top fan on Facebook, but we have one. MC Lawrence. Oh, it's Mashal, isn't it? Anyway, I think so. 15 for 2. India looking shaky.
I have tweets.
That was a while ago.
Running in now. Running in. Can I
Running
run
in.
Yeah,
Give
pouring
you a run.
in,
Pouring in. Guerrilla Cricket, we will keep your tweets busy. I predict a shock thrashing of India by Australia. This is the Beijing Ducks CC. Unless the umpires keep on going like they are, DRS can't be relied on anymore. Total shocker earlier. Kohli ran out. Dhoni duck.
Ooh, wow. If that happens, yeah. It's done and dusted.
I'm not sure if that's a total shocker at all. I'm not sure.
Well,
I don't think that's... which one?
the
Which
DRS.
The one just now? No, it
Well-
wasn't a shocker at all. He looked out. That's defended by Ryudu behind.
It's obviously a
point, there's no
little
run.
bit contentious because
It
they're
is- it
showing
does
it a
seem
lot.
Was that Rohit Sharma who tweeted in?
Right, armchair cricket.
And they're going back to
podcast.
it again? No.
No, it's
a
Kohli's
lovely
shot. Armchair Cricket Podcast say, right then, from 22 for 2 after 5 overs, India will need something special from the remaining batters to ensure that Dhoni's ODI farewell at home doesn't fizzle out.
Well, Dhoni's going to do it. Dhoni's the man. He's going to do it. I'm telling you. Big ton.
He's
from,
got to do it.
From
It's
Emma.
gotta
Oh,
be-
that's gone! And they're 27 for 3. Ryudu has been absolutely stuffed. That's a decent ball on Yeah, middle and off, and it's gone off the seam, and it's beating the outside edge rider who's he's groping forward. Terrible shot, looking all over the place, and his off stump is taken out of the ground. 27 for 3. It's Donny Day. It's Donny Day.
And that's Cummings.
Yeah, that is coming. I did say coming. He's a fantastic bowler. He's developing. He's going to be a handful in England.
Yeah.
And Stark will actually get it to swing in England because actually the ball does swing without the help of sandpaper.
Well, absolutely.
That was beautiful delivery.
That was an absolute.
Look at Mitchell
peach.
when he was Mitchell Johnson.
Well, he always had trouble here, didn't he?
Yeah.
And we used to laugh at that. Well, India. Jesus,
Do you think they're bringing
Christ.
Dhoni yet, or do you think that they'll hold him off a bit longer?
No, he's got to come in, hasn't he?
Can't please.
He's got to be 5. Is he 5 or is he?
He's
He can't
5,
be
but I'm
6.
just,
Yeah.
No, he's 5. I'm just wondering if
They'll
they'll
bring
No,
him.
you
They'll bring
can't.
him.
You know, they'd be having a fit if that happened. But if he gets out, it'd be a bit of a damp squib, wouldn't it? This could be a shock defeat for India. I wonder what the odds are now. I'm going to find out what the odds are. I bet they're about 2 to 1.
You're desperate to bet, aren't you?
No, no, bookies can be really.
We really should get some betting people to sponsor us, I think.
Well, yeah.
We should.
We should do. We've been trying that for ages.
Right, let's jingle him up, the man himself.
Only the dum-dum, dum-dee, dum-dee-dum, that's the way you look at tonight. Ellis, Donny.
India 10 to 3.
It feels sad if this is the last game he's going to be playing here.
I mean, it's only the 4th game here, isn't it, they said?
Yeah, I guess.
Fifth
It's not
game.
that
This is the 5th
nostalgic,
game.
is it really?
No.
But it is his home ground.
Yeah.
It's 5th out of his 330 odd ODIs.
He was always very, very loyal, apparently, to his home club side.
What about play Ranchi Trophy? Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Good on him. Cummins is in, and it's defended by Dhoni. They've got a short cover in for him, and there's no run. Yeah, he had very humble beginnings, didn't
Yep.
he? I mean, I don't know enough about his early. I mean, I do. I'm sure someone told me once, but
I think it was. I can't remember the humble beginning it was, but I'm feeling it's farming or something along those lines.
Proper country.
Mm.
Well, good on him.
Yeah, and he was always very loyal and went back a lot.
No, he's a good cricketer, man.
That and his motorbike collection. He has a.
We'd all love him. Well, actually, I'd like a sports car collection, but you know, left alone outside the off stump, and exactly, and it's through to Carey, and there's no run. Yeah, I was reading a story in the Daily Hail the other day, and the guy won 74 million on the lottery. Had already bought himself 4 supercars. I was like, yeah, I'd do that. Ferrari, Lamborghini, and something. Nice.
Yeah, I think one sports car isn't probably enough for me.
Yeah, I think I'm with it.
Yeah.
Well, it probably is. But hey ho.
You wouldn't give a shit if you had that much money, would you?
No, that's the problem. That's why you don't need it. But I will be doing the lottery tonight. It's 54 million. Eh?
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
okay.
Euro. Left alone through to the keeper by Dhoni, and there is no run. He's got to bring out his old self, hasn't he? I mean, in the last couple of years, people say that his strike rate hasn't been that great. I'm sure he's still got it now. And he'll know exactly what he's got to do from here.
He's a very good. He does judge his innings quite well, generally. I mean, there was that terrible game where he
against England
that
last summer, where it seemed to be completely off, didn't it? Yeah. But then I guess he judges it that I'm going to go all the way and I'm going to win the game at the end. So this is what I need to be and where I need to be at this point.
Yeah, but if you've got Kohli the other end.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, look at the 2 they got at the crease now. Defended by Dhoni, and there's no run. I mean, both of them have got so much experience, so many runs, big scores between them. Know how to run an ODI. Mm-hmm. If you wanted 2 batsmen to get you through for your life, these 2 wouldn't be a bad bet.
I would be quite happy with those 2.
I'd probably have nowadays. I'd probably have Kane Williamson or Joan Root at the other end.
Williamson's a good shout.
Williamson is he's a phenomenal batsman.
Yeah. Chris Paul, saved with the Bush Hospital. The walk back from Sophia Gardens to Cardiff Central on the weekend evening is always full of local colour and drama.
Well,
I bet it is.
I'm sure it is.
As when there's a rugby game there.
And Jai Richardson is in. And Cody just defends it to backward point, which I imagine will be Maxwell. There's no run. As we watch the replay of the catch. I mean, good play by Australia so far in this innings, really, isn't it? I mean,
yeah,
a couple of cracking balls to get wickets. And an amazing catch by Maxwell. They're on it, and they've got to win the game to stay alive in the series.
They certainly seem to be getting more out of the pitch than the Indian bowlers.
And that's live. It's clipped by Kohli to mid-wicket. And I think that's Zampa, I think, fielding. There is no run. 208 seconds. He's only have 256 balls. I mean, actually, when you look at that in terms of T20, if they knock 100 off that, 100, yeah, that's probably about 140 off the last 20. In a T20, you go, yeah, I'm gonna have that. I mean, this is how I think this is how teams think about ODI scores now, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, you split the game into two, don't you?
Yeah.
You just
so that's driven square on the offside. And there's no run. I mean, that's why I think Australia will be disappointed with the amount of runs they got. When you look where they were with 20 to go, they were on what, 200 and nearly 200.
Yeah, something like that, wasn't it?
With 10 wickets in hand. And from there, on a pitch that looked pretty easy, you know, to get there, they looked pretty comfy, and the pitch isn't doing a lot. And you want another 140, 150, even at a slow T20 place. Anyway, that bottom hand there from Kohli whips that from full outside his off stump out to a wide mid on. Maybe even a wide mid wicket, you'd call him even. And straight mid wicket, really. And there's no run.
Mogg says, "Hi, Tony."
Hi, Tony.
He'll be in soon.
He will be in soon. You can say your hellos to him when he comes in. Clipped into the leg side by Kohli, out towards the wicket boundary. And the outfield is pretty quick. And that will be a double for Kohli. Now, this is one of the things, obviously it's India. Are there going to be... is it going to be dewy? Is this a dewy place?
Well, that was Kohli's thought, wasn't it?
Was it? I didn't see him interview at the beginning before the game started.
Yeah,
I was running around trying to do other stuff.
He was wondering about that.
Well, it'll make the outfield a bit slicker, I'd have thought.
Yeah.
And also make the bowling harder. Very easy with a wet ball. Richardson is in, driven at again by Kohli, only up to mid-off, and there's no run.
Mogg again says the stretching of the odds may depend on the location of the bookmaker somewhat.
We'll bet 365. Yeah, there's no shenanigans going on there. I got 10-3 on India. Now, what I'm betting on here is a hedge, actually, because if these two do get an innings, and this is a big if, that's what you're betting on, I suppose. If these two get a bloody good partnership going and they start motoring along, Australia will go out to even at 7-5 or something like that. You hedge out on that, guaranteed win, guaranteed margin. There you go, betting advice for people. But it all relies on your first. It all relies.
Charge for that.
Well, yeah, we should do.
Yeah.
But it all relies on these two scaring the bookies by putting on a big innings, really. And that's the gamble. That's why gambling's fun. I don't bet a lot. It's generally to add a little bit of spice to what's going on.
Armchair Cricket Podcast say Ireland are 62 for 3 in 18 overs as spinners take the stage for Afghanistan. This one looks like a proper humdinger.
Good. The last one did seem to be as well. And the T20s were fun to watch. I mean, that's off the back foot. So Dhoni takes a little step down the track. It's just Stoinis, who's the new bowler. And
John's fallen asleep. You've got
Fair
that
play.
Guinness.
Fair play.
It's okay. Reaction times 0.52 seconds. That was a fucking good nut by Cummins.
It's quicker than my reaction times, anyway. Here's the new bowler.
All the side wants is a Marcus Stoinis. He's is the solution and all the
Down on the pads of Donny. Doesn't get any bat on it, I don't think. It goes square for 1.
I was just so surprised they took changed the bowlers that I was.
You were just stunned, weren't you? Tim Cricket Guy says, sorry, Guerrilla Cricket, been watching some domestic cricket from South Africa while listening to India v Australia from you, only for said game to be interrupted by lightning. The joys of cricket interruption.
Oh, wow. Where's that? Is that on Heidveld or somewhere?
I don't know where he is.
Johannesburg, maybe?
So yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh, wow, that kept a little bit low. But Donny got his bat down on it. Sorry, it's Cody got his bat down on it. Dropped it through mid-wicket. How you can split the two, I don't know.
Donny sit on nothing, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. And it burst through the hands of Zampa, who's at mid-wicket, allowing them to get through for a single. Ordered my son a cricket bat and it hasn't arrived yet.
How much was it?
£44.99 for a size 4, supposedly English willow.
Wow.
That's it.
Price of cricket bats for kids in England, if you want proper willow, is outrageous. It's driven up to mid-off. Oh, and they scoot through for a quick single.
Sinkle. A little sinkle.
And there's a shot at stumps. It wasn't close. I'm not sure if he'd have been in. I think he would have been in.
Donny's off the mark, though.
Donny is off the mark. Yeah, 44 quid, and that was like English willow. There's a lot of stuff on there that sold with cashmere willow, and maybe someone on Twitter can tell me, because well, cashmere willow, I don't know if it's lower grade or what. I mean, I assume it is because everyone says it is, but it's kind of what all these sort of semi-hard ball, the practice balls that the sort of 10, 11-year-olds use, is that Cody goes in the back, clips it to mid-wicket, and there's no run. So it's yeah, now at 10 and 11, where we always used to cricket balls all the time, they have those sort of rubbery plastic squeezy ball things, and that's what they use, and so they make all these bats for it. And I think that's what they use the cashmere willow for, and they're really soft and not very good, a lot of them. But this was English willow, size 4. But it'll grow out of it in a year or two. You know,
yeah, absolutely. That's the problem, isn't it?
But I mean, grey nickels and stuff. You want a size 4 grey nickels, whatever. Oh dear. Attempted guide down a third man, just misses the outside edge of Cody's bat, goes through the carry, got away with it.
I just need to update you on the Ireland game. Rashid Khan with the wicket of Simi Singh. Ireland now 66 for 4 after 19 overs. That's from Pirate Badshah, rather. The Beijing Ducks CC says that the thrashing is starting. Remember when I called the Rashid wickets in the last ODI? Donny Duck coming. So sorry about that. I read that after you'd put that, and there is no Donny Duck.
No, but he could still get out for a very low score in this game.
But not a duck.
But not a duck,
no.
That's true.
Messi just says it is noticeable that Donny's pads are hugely faded, but the BCCI obviously believe it's not worth getting him a new pair. Oh, yeah. That's sad.
He probably goes, these are my lucky pads.
Yeah. He's probably been wearing them for years.
He's probably been wearing them for years. Probably has.
Moggs says Williamson significantly greater than Root.
Yeah, there's
more
cool
consistent.
More consistent, yeah. Although in one-day cricket you can't not Root, even when he's been having a bad spell in Test, and that's the weird
one
thing.
Day he is.
Yes.
Defended by Donny out to the offside, and there's no running. He hardly ever fails in one-day cricket. Hardly ever fails in one-day cricket. He's got a lot of tons in one. I mean, in the last year, I think I've seen him get 5 tons in ODIs.
Not a great T20 player.
No, I disagree with that as well.
Really?
He's a great T20 player.
He has had some very low scores.
Yeah, he has. That's T20, but I mean, you know, he's had some. He scores at a very quick rate in T20.
He wasn't picked up by the IPL last year.
No, he wasn't, and I think they're wrong. That's played by Donny up to mid-on as Jar Richardson starts his 5th over. And there's no run. No, I disagree. I think Root's one of the best T20 players in the world. He scoots along. He's got.
He's very fast. Yeah, he can be very fast.
You know, he doesn't hit sixes, but boy, does he score runs at a fucking great rate. And he can play it anywhere around the wicket. He can do
absolutely. He does that.
Inside out, you name it. He can hit to any part of the ground. He is got an amazing eye for space on a field. Beautiful shot by Donny as he cuts that. It goes
Butler can hit
Maxwell, and there's no 4 runs. Sorry.
I think Butler can hit it all around the park.
Oh yeah, totally. And if you ask me who I wanted, I want Butler. But you know, I think it's foolish to say that Root's not a very good. Sorry if I'm being rude.
No, you're not being rude at all.
I just don't. I think Root is a fantastic T20
Just
player.
judge it. I was just judging it on what he's got recently. I think he's not.
He's not having the greatest time of it recently.
Yep.
But he was instrumental in that chase of 230 that we just listened to us doing in that World Cup game, and that's a chase of 230. He did it with ease. Defended by Dhoni up to mid-off, and there is no run. What's going on, Tony? I don't mind staying on for another 10 if one of you two wants to take a rest. Okay. It's up to you. Yeah, I thought you might. I'll stay on.
A bit tired, John.
I'm struggling, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take the next 10 off, though, if that's possible. Yeah. Richardson.
We can't let you hear, Tony.
No. Short pull. There's no one out there. It's the Dhoni. I did tell you, it's fucking Dhoni day, man. It's pulled out to deep backward square for 4 runs.
There's going to be a lot of cheering.
There's not one boy for me. I must have 2 or 3. I need 4.
That's what we're calling it. It's Dhoni Day. Well, it's actually it's International Women's Day.
Yeah.
But it can also be Dhoni Day.
Dhoni can join in.
Exactly. He's got a wife, kids, hasn't he? Not divorced?
No, I don't think so.
There you go. He's an honest man. Jai Richardson comes.
Well, I didn't say that.
Is there any mention of that in his book?
I was doing so well there. Dhoni. Business short. He's hello through to the keeper. There's no one. We're about to have a switch here. Is there any tweets?
Yes. Phil Withell says, dreams fading like Dhoni's pads. A metaphor I'd like to see more of. Tony Bishop, who's just getting into the chair, says, hi, Mog. Replying to Mog saying, hi, Tony. Imagine says, can't hear what the TV commentators are saying because I'm listening to Guerrilla Cricket. But their focus on Rohit's dismissal and umpire Shamsuddin suggests his future will be limited.
Well, he gave him not out. Oh, does he mean the third umpire?
I'm guessing, yeah.
Hello, this is an interesting change. Hello, everyone, by the way. Hello, Annie. How are you?
No, he bowled the last over.
Oh, Marcus Stoinis did buy the last over. Well, he's bowling now, right arm over. Whoa! And he's looking to pull that away. Is it Kohli? Am I right? Yes.
Yes.
No, it's not.
No.
It's Rayudu.
No,
Dhoni.
out.
It was Emmett.
It's Dhoni. That's why it's Dhoni Day.
Of course it is. National Dhoni Day. Well, he's going to be on strike.
Tony can't tell who he is, though. That's the problem.
I know. My dodgy eye.
Tony, you're lucky I'm even talking to you because
Why, what have I done?
apparently you're worth £490 more than me.
Well, it was only at the market at the time, which, you know, we all know it's very volatile.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the stock market.
Yeah.
Well,
the value of your gorillas can go down
well,
as well as up.
Bitcoin.
It is the man whose National Day it is in his stadium with a stand named after him, and he celebrates that with a solid forward defensive, straight back to the bowler Marcus Stoinis.
A pavilion
for 3.
I might say a pavilion named after him.
Pavilion named after him, not just a stand.
No, it's a shiny pavilion.
Even Jimmy Anderson at Old Trafford doesn't have a pavilion, does he? He
No.
just has a Jimmy Anderson stand.
Nope.
Oh, that's very impressive if you get a whole pavilion.
Oh, Messi Jez is getting back to you about bats.
Oh, right.
What
He's saying, saw a documentary recently on the production of bats in northern India.
In comes Stoinis. Forward comes MS Dhoni. It's a ring of fielders on the offside, and the man at cover is in there like a shot. So no run there.
English willow is hugely more expensive than local willow. But there were mind-boggling numbers of bats being produced, something like 60,000 a day. No wonder India is the power in cricket.
Well,
yes. I mean, this is the thing. I presume if you make a decent bat with... I mean, the thing is, I bought a bat from fucking Sports Direct, and of course it's a piece of shit.
Piece of rubbish, yeah.
As Stoinis interrupts Bears advertising for Sports Direct and the quality of their products. And
maybe talk about Newcastle.
Dhoni again, who is looking very solid. He looks like a man, I think, Annie, determined to, if this is his last gig at a stadium that adores him, so he's going to make the most of it.
Looks determined.
They've got to get to 313. When he came in, they were 27 for 3.
He's always good under pressure.
Last ever game,
Yeah.
You
think it's written in the stars?
Oh
there,
yeah,
don't you?
that's why I'm
You
saying
think
it's Donny
written in
Day,
the stars?
man. That's why I'm saying it's Donny Day.
Okay. Well, the bear said it first.
Have you bet on him?
No, I haven't actually. I bet on India though.
Forward he comes again.
You're advocating Donny Day. You should be betting on it.
Well, I think he's only offering me silly odds.
He's trying to doctor the market. You see, I think that's what's going on. 41 for 3 still. 4 dot balls so far in this over. As MS is entrenching himself. And well, if any two batsmen, probably in the world, are going to dig India out of a hole, but certainly Indian batsmen, you couldn't think of a better pairing than the two are in occupation of the crease at the moment, could you? It's Marcus Stoinis.
Dhoni's favourite for
thunders in. That's a ball on a decent length. Dhoni once again is forward. Again, it's gone straight to cover. Concludes that Stoinis over. Very economical and no run.
I'm sorry. I was saying I thought the bookies had Dhoni as favourite for top batsman out of these two. However, he's next man out. He's favourite.
Right, I've got a tweet and again about willow. Cantankerous C says, apparently Kashmir willow isn't any good in the English climate. It's too damp and the willow expands and splits too easily. But that's only what I've been told.
Well, the thing
Sounds
is,
very plausible.
This guy is selling these bats as English willow, but I think they're not. I think they're Kashmir willow because they're slightly cheaper now. I'll wait until it comes through. He's got 100%.
Will you be able to tell from looking?
You can, I think.
Really?
I think you can.
Can
I think it's softer, as you say. Mate, the thing is, my son's it's a size 4. That's the thing. I'll be buying my new bat. That's what pisses me off. I mean, Gray Nichols say a size 4 bloody Gray Nichols bat costs about 130 quid. You're like, what the fuck is going?
The price of bats is phenomenal.
It's ridiculous. I mean, for a for adult.
Patrick Cummins is in, and he's into Virat Kohli, and Kohli just drops the bat on that, goes straight to point, and there is no run.
I mean,
Stoinis, I think, was the man doing the fielding there.
For an adult, it kind of makes sense, I suppose. You're an adult, you've got the biggest bat. You're never going to need another bat until it breaks. And at club level, quality of a very good bat, you probably get a good few seasons out of it. But as a kid, when you're growing up and you're going to be a size 4 this year, 5 next year, 6 a year after, about a year at those prices, it's absurd, for a half decent bat.
Oh, I know. As Patrick Cummins is going to be in again, right arm over the wicket, forward comes Kohli. That's beautifully driven away. Well, there is a man out on the cover boundary, so it will restrict him to a single, and it'll bring the man of the moment back onto strike, MS Dhoni.
It's like buying children's shoes. I always felt like that, because you think,
painful,
oh my
man.
god,
painful.
6 weeks later their feet have cracked.
I mean, this is what pisses me off about fucking Jacob Rees-Mogg. Is shoes will get cheaper because we're going to Brexit and there'll be no tariff. It's like, you really seriously believe at the price of kids' shoes that these arseholes who are ripping me off every fucking couple of months are going to take the tax off my shoes? They're just going to go, woohoo, we got an extra 15% in the bloody bottom line.
They don't tax children's shoes.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
But they have tariffs on them.
Is in to rescue us. Oh, and my goodness me, that one swung away, and Dhoni was looking for a full-blooded drive, but it was a bit of a waft, and it was past his off stump and through. Who's keeping wicket there? For
Carey.
Australia? It is Carey. I like to check that because normally that's the one I normally screw up. Spend the first 10 overs discussing the wrong wicket keeper.
I did the other day. I was saying, what's his name?
Well, if you're calling him what's his name, you couldn't have gone too far wrong then.
No, Payne.
It's not Tim Payne. No, it's not. Payne's not playing, is he?
No, he's not. That's why it's Carey.
Indeed. Oh, and Patrick Cummins has to pull out of his run then. MS rather regally raises one hand and says, I'm not actually ready. So Cummins has to
being hurried.
Wheel himself about and go through the process all over again. He's back to his mark and setting off now. Nice, easy, rhythmic run-up, I think, Patrick Cummins. And that was a foolish ball. Dhoni's forward. It takes a little bit edgily down to deeper point, and they will take a single.
See, this is the problem. If you try and bet on Dhoni, you don't get offered like Dhoni wins the match, and decent odds. You get Dhoni's going to get over 50 at evens.
Yeah, and it's not worth putting.
No,
now the run rate.
The bet you want is Dhoni to win the match single-handedly.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't engineer your bet then.
Or you could, I suppose, you could put on a bunch of accumulators to get you to where you want to go. But even then, the options aren't suitable to that.
Cummins again. That's onto the legs of Virat Kohli. It's down to deep backward square leg, and he's not going to miss out on that, straying onto leg stump. And Kohli very quick just to whip it away. Takes India 44 onto 44.43. They started off needing just over 6, didn't they, if I'm right? They needed about 6.2, 6.3 at the start.
You're always right, Tony.
No, well, I'm not. Sadly, if I was always right, I probably wouldn't be here. But there we go. As Cummins is wheeling about his mark. He's in again, and that one again beats the outside edge of Dhoni, who was having a right old fish outside of his off stump that moved away and into the gloves of Carey.
I have
concludes
tweets.
That over.
Imagine says, and if you really, he's replying to somebody, so I don't know the other, but he says, and if you really want to be entertained, mute the TV and listen to the Gorilla Cricket commentary.
Absolutely.
Well,
thank you.
We appreciate
that.
Thank you so much.
Tim Cricket Guy says the Lightning game is being played in Benoni, so yes, it's in the high veld, seasonable rains. You said, did you say it was in? Is it in the high veld? I think
I did.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. The Beijing Ducks CC say, okay, so Dhoni didn't get the duck, but he's going soon.
I'm telling you,
Gorilla Cricket, not before he runs out.
I am telling you all, and I haven't got the fix in, but it's Dhoni Day.
Well,
and he's going to win the match.
You've been advertising it heavily, Bear, in between.
I have. It could be Dhoni and Cody Day.
Your
which is
lessons
highly
in
likely,
politics and economics,
yes.
and advertising shoddy sports goods from one of the country's major retail outlets.
I'm an advertiser's dream, aren't I, Tony?
Yeah. We still want to attract advertisers. And the thought that you might actually, tell the truth is scary. And this one is Nathan Lyon, so we're going to jingle him shortly. Wasn't got away. He's replaced Marcus Stoinis anyway. Oh, Gary Lyon. 444 is his best. Gets through his overs quickly. He's coming right arm around the wicket. Kohli is onto the back foot. That's a nice shot, actually. Pushes that away to sort of a wide-ish mid-on, I guess. And they are taking an easy single. So Lyon has conceded his first run. He's none for 1 off 2 balls thus far. 45 for 3. The rate now must be somewhat 7.5, something like that.
No, it doesn't go out that quickly. That's the thing. There's still a lot of overs left.
No,
6.5.
They need 7 and just over 7. They're currently going at 3.5. Lyon is in again. Dhoni skips onto the back foot and just pushes it to mid-wicket. There'll be no run.
Like I say, though, Dhoni's a very stubborn player, isn't he? He's not going to be hurried. He's not going to be pressurised into scoring.
He believes in himself.
Yep.
And that's maybe why he's thinking about retirement. Maybe it doesn't always come off.
No, absolutely.
That's the problem with being a sportsman.
But it often does.
Yes.
Repeat performance this time from Dhoni, who exactly copies the shot of 2 balls ago that Kohli played by stepping onto the back foot, pushing the ball away to wide mid-on and taking an easy single.
I mean, him and it was. In fact, it was him and Kedar Jadhav, wasn't it, who got him through in the first one? Partnership 140 or something.
In comes Lyon. This one was wistily ripped away. I can't even say it. What was I trying to say, Annie? Wristily whipped. Wristily whipped away. But there was no run, so I don't know why I went to all the trouble to describe it. As Lyon's in again. That one he strays down leg, and that is just tickled around the corner by Kohli, and I think that's going to go all the way.
That's a beautiful shot.
It does. 4 runs and a beautiful shot too.
It's Nissan She. It's Nissan She.
And it brings the 50 up for India. But they are going to have to think about, well, obviously the loss of those 3 wickets has rocked them back on their heels a wee bit. The run rate, as I say, only just about 7 and a bit at the moment, but they're going at 3.5.
Yeah.
So there will come a time when
they will have to.
These two are going to have to put the foot down a wee bit. Yep. Maybe we haven't quite reached that yet. I think they're very conscious of cementing their position.
Early days still.
Early days.
They've lost wickets. They need to accumulate. They need to just stay around.
Indeed. Now, Annie, I was down your way actually not long ago, last weekend.
Why didn't you tell me?
Well, not quite far enough over.
Oh.
I was in Dorchester.
Oh, but no, that
So
really
that's
isn't
within
far
a,
enough
That's
over.
within a, well, it's on its way to Exeter. When I looked at a map, I thought Exeter's
It's
only
on
a
its
couple of towns
way,
on.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
towards your direction
Okay.
rather, not actually
Okay.
in Exeter.
No.
If I'd have been in Exeter, I would have told you.
Yes,
obviously.
I'd have been cross if you.
Oh, no, I would have done. No. 50 for 3, anyway. The 50 is up. We've completed 13 overs. Marcus Stoinis is in, and that is slapped away into the offside, but there's the man there at deep cover, and they will just get a single. Were you about to read us a tweet or two there? And I was interrupting you.
Armchair Cricket Podcast have sent us a couple of things about Dhoni marital status. Mr. and Mrs. Dhoni hosting the India team for a dinner before the third one.
I
day
saw
international.
that.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
It looks
they did.
quite fancy. They've sent
I'm
photos.
sure it is.
Yes.
He's a multi-millionaire.
I can't imagine he lives in a sort of a 2 up, 2 down.
No.
No, I don't think so. No.
As Stoinis is in, and Kohli just leans into that, dabs it down to third man.
They must have
is
been
that
working
Adam Zampa
hard.
down there? It is.
They must have been working hard all day to get food like that as well.
I'm sure the caterers are working really hard.
Actually, I'm lying. They took a single there, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
They
take a
did,
single.
which brings National Dhoni man at the.
They could have,
the stand named after him is back on strike. I mean, there's a whole nation of people want him to do incredibly well here.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about being an Indian cricket god, isn't it? You know,
Stoinis is in.
I want him to do
Dhoni.
incredibly well as well.
Very elegant shot for no runs, but pushed away just straight to cover though.
yeah, it'd be fucking. It's if he does this, it's a great story, man.
Oh, it is a great story. It is a great story.
Well, Dhoni is a great story. I
Yes.
think he totally is.
He's quite a self-effacing chap as well, isn't he? When
He is. Yeah. Well, he's-
whenever I've seen him interviewed,
Yeah.
or his general demeanour is not. He doesn't ever come across as the big I am. He comes across with
He doesn't
a
come
degree
across
of
as
humility,
arrogant,
I think.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Humility or humidity? No, humility. Stoinis is in once more. And the aforementioned MS just gets everything behind that, drops the bat on it, and Stoinis bends down to field off his own bowling. He's an interesting character, isn't he, Stoinis? He's got a sort of a slightly bulky look about him.
He is quite bulky. You imagine if he wasn't doing sport, he could bloat.
We're now offering healthy eating tips with the bear. Having worked our way through a decimation of various sports manufacturers and assassination of people's political careers, lessons in economics, we're now into healthy eating with the bear. As in comes Stoinis, whipped. And they'll take a very quick single. Never run on a misfield, except there when Nathan Lyon made a right old hash of fielding that at kind of shortish mid-wicket.
He palmed it past the man.
He did, and it enabled India to get themselves a quickish single. We'll have another look at that. Yeah, he's kind of short mid-wicket, and he dives away. Actually, in doing it, he kind of wrong-footed the man at mid-on who was going to go there.
Like palmed it around the post, didn't he?
He did.
The post being the other fielder.
It's like one of those deflections where the goalkeeper's wrong-footed, and he just has to watch it go past him because there's nothing he can do. 53 for 3. 3 runs so far off this over from Stoinis, so it's none for 6 so far. And he's right arm over in again, and Kohli just drops the bat on that, rolls it down to third man, where Adam Zampa makes a right old kerfuffle of trying to pick it up. He had about 3 goes to bend down and pick it up. He was like some old man trying to pick up a fallen cigarette.
I have tweets. Rebecca B51 now says, I had about 20 ducks the other day. I told my other half it would never have happened if he let me have a cat.
Oh, why? Because the cat would eat the ducks?
I'm guessing, yes. Phil Whittle says, Guerrilla Cricket, with the marvellous coverage provided by yourselves and Guerrilla South Africa, when can we expect expansion into Australia? You know it makes sense.
Oh, who said that?
Phil Whittle.
Oh, well, thank you for that.
Well, expansion to Australia requires someone getting in touch with us from Australia who wants to be a gorilla in Australia.
Well, there you go. If that's you, as Nathan Lyon is in, and this is worked away to mid-on by Kohli. They won't take a run.
You know how to get in touch with us, Phil.
Indeed. Now, just so I know my geography, look at today's attendance. It's about nearly 35,000. So that's
not bad.
Not bad at all. As Kohli's onto the back foot, works this away to deep mid-wicket, they will take a single
Looks
easily enough.
Looks pretty full there to me.
Shame there's no interest in cricket at the
well,
moment,
that's
isn't there?
that is the. Oh, I'm a great follower of your.
Arguments.
What sometimes seems to be a gallant one-woman effort to prop up the entire cricket, as we love it.
Oh, I bang my head against the wall.
I support you
so
whenever
often.
I can. In comes Gary Lyon, and on to the back foot goes Dhoni. He just eases that to backward point, and they'll take another easy single. 56 for 3. Yeah, I mean, for MS Dhoni, I mean, it's almost the cricketer's ultimate honour if he represents or is somewhere to have the stand named after him, isn't it? And he's got the MS Dhoni Pavilion, and that one, well, forward, there's a big old shout. MS Dhoni just stands and watches from the other end.
He does a lot of that crouching down appealing, doesn't he?
Well, Gary,
well, I know he's kind of crouched down.
He is a bit theatrical, isn't he, old Nathan Lyon?
Yeah.
Good on him.
He's more challenged in the follicular department than I ever remember him even now. He's gone, hasn't he? Didn't he at least have some semblance of hair the last time I saw him? Nathan Lyon.
Oh, really?
No,
okay, anyway, that's worked away.
Bald.
Okay, well, he has my sympathy. Well, that one he did turn that. Not only that appeal, it was a huge inside edge. So
I wish they reviewed.
Which they did. They didn't. Surely they didn't review that.
No,
that would have been nuts. As the bat is dropped on this, and again there's no run. MS Dhoni's looking very controlled and determined and well on top of things at the moment.
Got a couple of tweets about bats, Ben.
Okay.
Rowan says, Guerrilla Cricket bought my son a size 3 B&S bat here in Cape Town.
Okay.
A B&S.
I don't know. The Beijing Ducks CC says, try this bat sauce. I've had 2 bats from them, English Willow, slight seconds, I suspect from good quality brand. First one lasted 5 seasons, cracking bat. Second one is a belter too.
I don't need a bat for me, it's for my son. This is the thing, it's kids' bats. I've got a couple of cracking bats, I've got a couple of handmade bats already.
But that's
well, he sent you a sauce anyway, so you never know, it might have...
well, that would be good.
Yeah, it's the small... the thing is, it's hard to get decent bats at small, and this is it, you know. No one can be asked to make a half-decent bat for a kid.
Well, it's going to be Marcus Stoinis again. 257 off 210 balls is the equation. And he will be bowling towards the Dhoni Pavilion.
Oh,
and that is beautifully stroked away between cover and extra cover, and no point in chasing that. It's 4 runs. He's so elegant to watch, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's great through the covers, isn't he?
He is
great. Is that a dodgy thing to say?
No.
Great
under the
covers. If you'd have said under the covers, that would have been distinctly dodgy. I think through the covers is probably all right. Well, even though that sets a mental image I probably didn't want, but there you go. As that, that is also
in mind now.
As that is also whipped away for 2. So 6 off the first 2 balls. Maybe that acceleration is about to come. 251 off 208.
63
is what is needed
to get 4,000 runs as a captain.
What was that?
63 innings for Virat Kohli to get 4,000 runs as a captain.
Wow.
Shortest in any Indian captain's history.
Yeah.
Wow.
He is
just
a one-off.
such a player.
He is indeed. And also,
yep.
Annie, I know you would appreciate, I'll finish the thought at the end of this ball from Marcus Stoinis. The bat is dropped on that by Kohli. They don't run. He's also a man who takes his test, who is a fantastic ambassador for the longer form of the game.
Yes, and very anti the 100. Yes.
Which I know you are a huge lover.
Kohli.
Kohli is anti 100. Yeah.
Was he? Has he come out and said that?
Yeah.
But I think he believes in the purity of the long form.
Because he knows he's going to get paid a fat wodge to come over and play in it.
Do you think he needs a fat wodge?
No, I don't. But I think he possibly would.
Well,
the whole point of it is to try and big it up.
Stoinis is in again from the south end, and he's bowling to Kohli, and Kohli is up onto his toes, looking to drive that away. Didn't really get hold of that one. And it trickles its way to mid-off.
If they really want to make this pay off, and it seems to me that they're trying to create something, The only way you're going to create that something is to get the best of the best to come in the first season at least. You know, you want your Kohlis, your Kane Williamsons,
the best of the best.
You know, if Gale's still
Well,
playing, you want all the
attempting to get
superstars that are in the IPL. I mean, this is it. If they get them, then they might.
But the thing is,
make something happen.
they're bringing it out when there's lots of other cricket that's going on abroad.
No,
in comes Stoinis again, and that's wristily whipped away by Kohli.
I don't
Just
think-
backward a square for a single.
I don't think any of the Indians can come over for it.
I thought that was off season, isn't that?
As far as I'm
not.
aware, it's not possible for the Indian sides to come over.
Because usually they're playing Test series, so that must be off season.
This
now.
is what Tom Harrison was talking about at one point. So I don't know quite enough, but
I mean, this is it. You can't pay them enough money to come here. In that case, kind of, you're kidding it.
But Kohli was.
As in comes Stoinis again. That's nicely cut away, but there is a man at deep backward point. So
Kohli's
we'll
dead
restrict them
set
to 2.
against bringing in another format, basically. And
Oh, I thought you said he was into it.
no.
Oh, right. Okay.
No.
That's why I was
No.
really surprised.
No, he's really not into it.
No.
He's one of the major stars that has said, I'm not interested. Gale said he'd like to do it.
Well, of course he will.
Yeah.
I can biff some sixes.
He's after
Paid
Well, yeah, exactly.
paid a fat
Payday,
wedge,
isn't he?
and I'm 39. Sweet.
And also, yeah, if you
I
can
have to-
reduce the
Exactly.
format.
I can face 20 less balls as
Yeah.
well. I can fill for 20 less balls.
Yeah.
It's a win-win for Gale. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Will it have nice short boundaries so
Yeah.
I don't have to run at all?
Yeah.
Anyway, 313 for 5, Australia made, of course, off their 50. 66 for 3 in reply, India. They went off to a bit of a shaky old start, courtesy of Patrick Cummings. That's worked away to backward square, but for no run.
I mean, if they bring it in and it's just basically locals and a couple of B-list cricketers from
Well,
around the world,
it's
then
not
it's
going
really
to
not going
be.
to fly, is it?
They're going to.
Lions
They
in
are
once
going to
more,
get.
and that is
stars in
worked
it.
away to mid-wicket. That will be an easy single for Virat Kohli. He's on to 33. His partner in crime is MS Dhoni, who's on 16. 247 off 202 balls. It's all very doable, and I think what these two realise it's very doable so long as they
stay
cement
there
their
for a
position
long-
and stay there.
And if they stay there for a good while, then
Lyon is in again from the south end once more, and Dhoni comes down the track to meet him, but only just pushes it away into the onside, and they don't run. Yeah, no, I think these two. He's got a big old Stuart Surridge bat as MS Dhoni. It looks like a big.
Well, that's what I
plank
bought.
of
I
wood as
bought
well.
an SS Ton for my child.
As this is pushed away into the offside this time by Dhoni,
Do
but
they
they
still
don't
do
run.
balls, Surridge?
The SS in India is different to the SS in England.
Is it? Right,
Oh, yeah,
okay.
I'm pretty certain.
Oh, I didn't realise that. It is still Stuart Surridge, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think, is it? I don't think
I
it
would
is.
hope
I
so.
don't think that SS is.
Surely they protect that property. And this one is whipped away very, very wristily. And again, it's a funny old bit of fielding down there at the second attempt. I don't know whether the lights
Maybe
are
the ball's
bad or the
getting
ball
damp.
is bumpy or the ball, as you say, Annie, could be damp, but gets a single.
I'm getting a bit behind on the tweet, so I feel a bit like I need to.
I'll let you do that.
Pirate Badshaw says Dockrell clean bowl by Aftab
In
Alam.
comes Lyon again, onto the back foot, into the offside, no run, closes out the over, and then he has a free run. Your tweets.
Ireland 82 for 5 off 26 overs. If Ireland you win this, it will need Kevin O'Brien to have a very good day. Yeah.
No,
right.
It's Sareen Sports is SS in India.
Oh right. Oh okay.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, there you
Interesting.
go. I just every time I saw SS, I thought Stuart Surridge.
Right.
No,
Shows how wrong I can be.
different brand, isn't it? That was a red S with a white outer. I had an SS Jumbo when I was a kid. Size 5.
Let me get on with the tweets.
All right, sorry.
Enough about your bats. Messi, Jez, and Mog both say hi, Tony.
Oh, hello, both.
And that was a while ago, so that, it's kind of gone
I thought
past.
so,
really.
yeah.
But Liam Zampa holds the key. If he is the parsimonious, the game is done. If he is parsimonious, the game is done. Lyon is not very good in white ball and shouldn't bowl his 10 here. Okay.
That's probably true.
Lyon's not been penetrative yet, anyway. Ravi Nair, Guerrilla cricket, such is the current aura around the guy that I guess we're all thinking as long as Kohli is batting, India have a better chance of winning than Oz. Yep. Hello, Ravi. Armchair Cricket Podcast, elegant through the covers, dodgy. These days, under the covers might be quite a compliment too.
Oh yeah, well, funny enough, that was the exact conversation we had, wasn't it?
That's pretty much.
But there we go.
Pirate Basher says, Pointner clean bowled by Aftab Alam, Ireland 90 for 6.
Oh dear,
29.1 overs, toast, he says.
Oh, I think so, sadly.
Mark says, oh, you don't like the 100, Annie? I've never gotten that impression before. No, I don't, Mark. Gosh, would you like me to talk about it a bit more?
You do rather wear your heart on your sleeve on that particular topic, it has to be said.
I do a little bit.
You're not backward about coming forward in rubbishing it.
People say the same comment over and over again, and actually it doesn't make sense what they say, some of the things, and just trying to get... Sorry, don't start me on it anyway.
I have to let you know, just in case you're not watching us on Facebook, Annie is so animated in her rant, she just took the microphone away and waved it around while she was actually making a particularly good point, which you probably didn't hear.
Oh, the 100.
Oh, right, yeah. No, it's a shit format.
Right, there we are.
Oh, there we are.
That says it all.
The Art of Précis by the Bear.
Renikita says, silly question of the day, has there ever been an all-run 6? Just imagining the epic fielding failure needed for that makes me happy.
I'm pretty sure there's been an all-run like 7 or something. I think the answer is yes, but I can't recall when.
No, maybe someone can, though.
We are watching highlights, so I nearly fell into the trap of going, oh, what an incredible catch, and then I realised it's everything that happened earlier. Are you about to say something? You cleared your throat like there was a bigger announcement.
Armchair Cricket said, elegant through the covers, dodgy. These days under the covers might be quite a compliment too, though proof from Providence might be the tricky question.
Rolling like thunder under the covers. Wasn't that was Elton John, isn't it? I guess that's why they call it the blues.
Yep. Liam says, no Indian has ever appeared in any overseas T20 tournament as BCCI seeks to protect the supremacy of IPL.
Ah.
And this is what Tom Harrison was saying. And it seems like a really strange thing to do.
Well, we have a change of bowling from the pavilion end. It is going to be Adam Zampa, who I think someone was saying was about time he entered the fray. Well, he is entering it.
The enemies of the mighty fear many things. Yet there is one thing they fear above all others.
And he dropped that one a bit short and was worked away down to a very short, fine leg.
Strange shot.
Aaron Finch did the fielding there. There was no run. Yeah, he really didn't get that right at all, did he? But then again, in a way, neither did MS Dhoni
the other day.
Did he?
Yeah, total filth.
Now, are both these stands called pavilions? Because that's completely confusing me. That was a much better ball, much fuller, more air, and Dhoni gave it all due deference and respect in dropping the bat on it.
He's got his camouflage cap on.
Yep.
Yeah, because that's the Chowdhury Pavilion, if I'm reading that right. The Amitash Chowdhury Pavilion. So both ends, north and south, have pavilions. Oh, there's a shout, but I think he'd come too far down, and indeed Dhoni will get himself a singer. Is that leg byes? Was that off the bat?
No, I thought it was leg byes.
I thought it was a leg bye, and is being signalled as such. Do we want to jingle that, or can't we be asked today?
Can't be asked.
It's like a little bit of ZZ Top.
Probably hit him outside. Okay, then.
If
you like a bit of ZZ Top.
Well, I think the bird has flown there. Let's wait till next. Oh, okay then. And that one was speared down Kohli's leg side. It's another wide. Just to keep the bear honest.
You just like legs, man.
Wide. 74-3. Adam Zampa in his rather fetching Alice band is in again. That's a ball on a decent length, but very easy indeed for Kohli to just drop the bat on it. The man at mid-on is pretty deep, so strolling a single is absolutely no problem at all. We're looking at a replay of that LBW decision. No, he was outside the line, wasn't he?
He was outside the line. He was over 3 metres up the pitch too.
Yeah, it's funny old appeal, to be honest, but you know what bowlers can be like.
I would have gone to go and hit, but
once again Zampa's in, and that one is slightly short, and Dhoni works it away to deep mid wicket, but again just a single. There's a man stationed out there. 72 for 3. We're in the 17th over. After at this stage Australia were 112 without loss, India 72 for 3. So I missed some of it. Did Australia rather fall apart at the seams towards the end?
No, they fell apart right at the wrong point.
As Kohli has worked that away again to deep mid-wicket, they'll take an easy 2. 74 for 3.
Maxwell was out at the wrong time, wasn't he?
Yeah. Okay. I might have been in transit at that particular point.
I just need to read a few tweets. Messi just says, does anyone like the 100 ball bullshit? Thank you, Messi.
Some of the players have been tweeting out about it, haven't they?
Don't get me started on that either. the Beijing Ducks CC says, can we just put Annie in a room with Michelle Vaughan and listen to it all unfold? I'd love to do that. God, I'd so
celebrity death match to die for.
I would, because he never, ever, ever replies to any. He doesn't block me, so he just completely ignores me. And I ask him perfectly reasonable questions, and he just says obnoxious comments that he says I'm right, basically.
Dhoni is actually sporting a camouflage cap here.
Yeah, it's national.
We've already
said
that.
I know what it is. Yeah, as that one is down the leg side. Presumably that ought to be a wide. Yeah, it was. Pretty loose delivery from Nathan Lyon. I have to say.
Space on the leg side is sort of dead square, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got
space on the offside is probably behind.
3 men on the off, only 2 men on the on within the ring there. And there's Dhoni gets a big front foot forward and sort of sweep paddles that away to backward square. They take another single. Ball thuds into the gloves of Alex Carey. Oh, they're both wearing them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm not.
They were all
Mr. Observance today.
No, they were all wearing them in field when they were fielding as well.
Comes Lyon again, right arm around, wristily whipped away into the mid wicket area.
Good
Once
running.
Again, they run a lively 2. So
good running for a couple of old men, eh?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not so sure.
Kohli's
I wouldn't say Kohli's an old man.
No, that's true.
MS and
Just
Chris Gale might be.
I mean, that's what you just get a feeling, don't you? I mean, these two are so experienced.
Yeah.
Taking each other on
They're
in the
not that
Zimmer
fussed
Frame
about
Grand Prix.
the
But as once again in comes Nathan Lyon. That's a ball onto middle stump. Kohli is just easing it away down to wide-ish mid-on. They seem to be able to harvest the runs at the singles and twos very easily at the moment.
This is what I mean. This is where the experience comes in, isn't it? I mean, they've done it. They've been there before. And these two know that they've got 3 wickets down. They just have to take it deep in overs terms.
Yep.
Because they know they can catch up at the end. If they, I mean, they might not do, but the only chance they've got is
they can both accelerate.
These two have got to go to
the line again.
Oh, look,
this one.
Accelerating.
So, as if commanded to do so by Annie, Dhoni takes 1 step down the wicket, lofts this over deep mid wicket. It's all the way into the crowd, and it is 6. As I'm assuming that's one of Mog's. Yeah. It has that kind of.
That's the first ever 6.
Earthy.
That's how
in-your-face aggression.
That's almost how I think that's how Mogg started his jingle career.
What,
with that 6?
Yeah, I think so.
Ah, well,
it's a good way to start your career with
absolutely.
a 6.
I loved it.
84 metres. He larruped that away to the absolute delight of most of the the crowd here. And forward comes Dhoni. This one, Lyon will leap across a couple of paces and field off his own bowling, so there's no run. We're just having a look at that from a camera angle behind Alex Carey. And Nathan Lyon does a little skip as he admires it, disappearing into the distance. He's in again. And that was beautifully played again, by just a foot forward by Dhoni, just a wristy little flick to mid-off.
I love watching these two bat.
Yeah.
I've got a few tweets. Chris TB says, can't speak on India and England, but I know that SS means something very different in Germany. Thank you.
I was avoiding that. To be fair, it could also mean steamship. Ships are
could mean a lot of things, let's face it. The Beijing Duck CC said, do you need ball tracking under the covers?
Might well do.
Don't know what to say to that, really.
There we are. You've started something here, Annie.
Yeah. Pirate Badshaw says McBride caught and bowled by Rashid Khan.
Another one gone.
Ireland 96 for 7 off
they're
31.
teetering on the edge, aren't they?
Incinerated toast, he says.
Oh, what a shame. They did so well in the last match, but it looks like this time around that's maybe a bridge too far for them.
Jonathan Northall says, I'm in the position of falling asleep to your commentary of India v Australia, sorry about that, and wake up to West Indies v England. The quality of the commentary should not be derived from either of these occurrences.
I was literally about to take I was confronted. Oh, hello, what's happened there? Zampa's got his man. Zampa has got his man. Well, and the bear is...
no.
It isn't Tony Day. He's gone. Bold by Adam Zampa. And as we look around the crowd, there's a resigned sadness, there's crestfallen looks on faces. And, well, it was...
it's a no ball, surely.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm hoping to check.
Just an inside edge. Actually, was it an inside edge onto his foot and then onto his leg stump? Donny just looks back at Zampa with a kind of a, yep, you got me.
And
say the V, off I go.
That's it. I don't want to watch anymore.
That was a big old build-up.
I'm sure no one...
Well, he's gone for 26, so he's contributed, but not what he and the entire Indian nation would have been hoping for.
Well, it's Kohli Day.
Kohli Day.
You can't just switch your national days just like that.
Talking of which, Messi Jez says he's put up something saying Virat Kohli 1,000 runs in 17 innings, 2,000 runs in 36 innings, 3,000 runs in 49 innings, and 4,000 runs in 63 innings.
Well, going to need something special from it.
It is indeed.
Well, he is still the man, you know.
It is indeed.
Even though I was bigging up MS, Kohli's going on a better rate, let's be honest. And he is the man who's taken over the mantle. Who is the man?
Who is that new man in? I'm just trying to look.
Is it VJ?
Good question. I'm just trying to work it out. Good question. Who is the new batsman? Well, he's going through some quite lively calisthenics.
I know who it is.
Who is it? Who is it?
It is...
it's Kedar Jadhav. Didn't you know that? Lord above.
Thank God his mom and dad, they made an all-rounder. Yeah, he can bowl.
And he deals... Well, Zampa has a big old shout, but the umpire wants literally nothing to do with it.
Bad shout.
Again, it was a massive inside edge, although he's getting some interesting advice at the other end. In comes Zampa, and Yadav is just onto the back foot to stroke that away to a vacant area of third man for 4 runs. Nice shot. Yeah, he just slid that beautifully, didn't he? Guided it. There's a slip in place, a very kind of wide-ish gully, and ample spin, no third man, so plenty of space to steer that. Forward comes Jadav. Into the offside, no run.
I hope Zampa can cope with being the most hated man in the ground.
Well, I think so.
I think he'll manage.
Yeah, I think it was inside edge, which he then hit his foot on its way to to the leg stump. Forward comes Yadav. That's gone away to wide mid-off. It's an easily jogged single, so 5 from the over, but crucially, tragically, certainly for everybody there and for all Indian cricket fans, at the wicket of MS Dhoni.
Well, we're going to
Zampa has 1 ball left, and I think there's going to be some shuffling about.
There is indeed.
That's dropped short by Zampa and pulled away by Virat Kohli to the square leg boundary. 4 more runs.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, it's Manny.
It's
Hello,
Manny.
chaps. What's happening?
You're going to tweet. Me and Annie are going off. And
I'm
those
going
two
to
are sitting in.
Okay, righto. Sounds
See you
fine
in a
by
sec.
me.
Alternative cricket commentary, bringing you laughs, bringing you jingles, bringing you joy. We are Gorillas. We need your patreon.com/Guerrilla Cricket.
Good afternoon, one and all. 20 overs gone, 95 for 4. In a bit of a pickle here, are India, but not impossible. They've got the mighty Kohli, who's 43 from 42, and Yadav, who opened his account with a rather fine late cut, as Lyon starts a new over, bowling round the wicket, and it's defended by Yadav. Back to the bowler, and there is no run.
Good afternoon.
Hello again.
Lyon round the wicket in bowls, again just back of a length, and worked into the gap on the onside for a comfortable single. 96 for 4, Yadav onto 6, Kohli back on strike. They need 218 to win off 178, so not impossible, but they'd probably only want to be 2 down currently rather than 4 down. The next ball is chopped down to third man, the man inside the circle, so there is no run.
With Kohli in, they've got a chance. If he goes, I feel like it's all over, I think.
For sure. I mean, they've got some depth to their batting, but more after this, as he round the wicket he bowls yet again, and this is greebled away through the line of second slip, and this time it will bring a single. Zampa on the slide doing the fielding. 97 for 4.
Greebled away.
Greeble. It was a Kentish term. And
for what?
The greeble is
greebling.
A greeble is. I'll tell you more in between overs. It's a wonderful expression.
It is.
Line in bowls, and this is tucked through square leg for 1. They'll think about a second, but wisely they stick at 1. There's a half decent throw coming in to the keeper's end. 98 for 4. Lyon tidy as ever, has a method, often does bowl round the wicket. In white ball cricket, sometimes in red as well, but particularly in white ball cricket. And he's got a leg slip in place. 98 for 4 to continue or finish his overs. He's in bowls, and this is clipped by Kohli down to long leg. He will pick up a single as Pat Cummins does the fielding. End of the over, 99 for 4. Yes, the greeble is a shot which can be, it's usually played off the front foot, but can be played off the back foot. And you allow the ball to come on to the bat, you open the face of the bat, and you angle it down towards third man.
Right.
And the Greeble Deluxe is, if you do that, and you get the bowler, hopefully from somewhere from Dover, foul-mouthed bowler from Dover, to put his hands on his hips as you hit the ball off the face of the bat, down to third man, he calls you an effing lucky Bradman. That is the Greeble Deluxe.
Oh, okay. Well, good to know.
So there we are. 99 for 4. Any tweets?
Yeah, we'll have to be fairly quick because I think your Greeble explanation ate up tweet reading time.
Apologies.
Which is absolutely fine because it was very interesting. And as Zampa's about to bowl, I can probably do one. Rennie Keeter said, 10 ball overs are great for the people who count on their fingers. This is the decimal reform Britain has been waiting for. I wonder if I've got time for Jeff. Yes, Jeff Perkins had replies. Wasn't 100 devised to distract the masses from the Brexit fuck up? And actually, I can do one more. Messi Jez says, it's about time we had 6 fingers on each hand. The world would be so much better with the base 12 counting system.
Well, it's the greatest cricketer ever.
Well, it used to have it for a currency, didn't it? It used to be 12 pence to put up 12 pennies and a shilling.
Yeah, it certainly was. But
when I were a lad.
Yeah, me too. There was also the greatest cricketer ever had 6 fingers. Well, so 6 toes, I think he had, didn't he? Well, probably still does.
The Don? Well, he doesn't then.
No, the greatest cricketer ever, that would be Gary Somers.
Oh, did he? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm
pretty sure that's true.
A name for people who have that additional appendage on their foot.
There is some delay out there, not quite entirely sure why. Maybe Zampa needs more hair product run out to him from the sidelines. Anyway, we seem to be continuing. No, we're not.
Just jealous of what we haven't got, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Complete, indeed. We were talking in the green room. We're talking about sportsmen with Alice bands as Zampa comes in and bowls a nicely flighted leg break, which is pushed by Dhoni out to the cover sweeper for a single. The 100 is up for India. 100 for 4. And they've stalled a little bit. 25 of the last 32 deliveries. So that's an indication of the speed they're going at, and they need to regroup here. It's all about a partnership. He's got a slip in place as he bowls to Yadav, and he drives nicely, but just for a single down too long off. 101 for 4.
Pirate Badshah is updating us on Ireland's fortunes. Aftab with the wickets of Kevin O'Brien and Murtagh misses out on a hat-trick. Ireland 98 for 9 off 32.
Oh dear.
Chasing.
Yes. Well, I don't think it matters, but something they're not going to get to.
Zampa bowls a well-flighted leg break, which is right on the money, and Kohli comes forward defensively, covers up and plays it square into the offside for no run. Target is 3-1-4, and as we keep on saying, if Kohli's there, there's definitely a hope. Zampa in bowls and a flatter, quicker delivery.
He's
which
got better this over.
Kohli defends to mid-wicket. Yeah, I mean, he's if you're bowling leg breaks, there's a lot that can go wrong with any leg break. Zampa in bowls a little bit shorter, and Kohli goes back and rather loses his shape as he tries to force this into the side, which he does. He picks up a single down to long on. 102 for 4.
Messi Jez wants to know why the camouflage hats, which we know is
it's a long and complicated.
A long and complicated story, but we're not going to go into right now.
So there.
Google it.
The Beijing Ducks say Dhoni shame, but what a legend. Yes, we would go along with that.
Zampa in bowls and an attempted sweep by Yadav. He's well outside the line, you stupid little boy. He might have well hit it as well anyway. They're going to pick up a run. Is it a run or is it going to be a leg by? We know not yet, but he was well outside the line of off stump. It went for the sweep shot. He might have got a thin edge on it. Anyway, he's ended up with 1 run. End of the over. Any more tweets?
Most definitely. Jonathan Northall, hello there, says, could you say hello to Sam Trousdell or Truesdell? Let me know how if I'm saying it right. A listener of yours, and he's given up sunny Queensland for London, crazy man. Well, hello indeed, Sam, and welcome to London and welcome to Guerrilla Cricket. Josh Holland says, according to Wikipedia on Sobers, quoting from his autobiography, at birth he had 2 extra fingers, one on each hand, which he removed himself during childhood, in inverted commas, with the aid of catgut and a sharp knife.
He removed himself?
Yeah, he removed himself.
Ooh, there you are.
He de-digited himself.
Well, he's quite good with 5 fingers, I have to say. Lyon starts a new over, and it's played square into the offside for an agreed single. 104 for 4.
Wasn't that an old Tommy Cooper joke? On the one hand, 5 fingers. 104 for 4.
Kohli on strike. Lyon in bowls, and this is flicked off his hip by Kohli. He's timed that nicely. He might pick up a couple here. Pat Cummins doing the fielding, and they picked up just a single, I think. Yeah, just the one. It was to his left-hand side. Maybe he had to delay setting off for the single because he thought that it might have been collected by square leg, and indeed it should have been. So he couldn't set off for the run until it had gone through the legs of square leg. Next delivery is flighted and defended by Yadav. No run. 105 for 4. The guilty party at square leg. Is that Khawaja? Looked like him. Let's blame him. Lyon into his 6th over, bowls a rather flatter delivery, which is defended by Yadav to Khawaja, who feels properly this time, and there is no run.
What's the rate? 209 off 164. Yeah, that's the loss of wickets that would concern them.
Yes, definitely. I mean, 105 for 2, you'd think, it's sort of even money, particularly with Kohli there, but you'd say Australia in the box seat as the next ball is flat as well and tucked down to long leg for an agreed single. 106 for 4.
Yeah, the run rate is just climbing slightly. It's about 7.6 now. So
but if you were only 2 down, you'd say it's probably an even money game.
Kohli, easily.
Particularly with Kohli there. Dabbed into the offside. He'll pick up a comfortable single, will Kohli, and he will keep the strike. He can count. Well done. 107 for 4, 23 has gone.
They're just dealing in singles at the moment, aren't they, though? They can't get anything away. Tweets.
Yes, Messi says, I love that Guerrilla Cricket is the only thing I can listen to where old Tommy Cooper jokes retain their status as legitimate currency.
Nothing wrong with
Messi,
the Tommy joke.
I'd rather think that's a statement to the commentator who happens to be saying it as opposed to
it may have something to do with the age of the commentator, yes. Nothing wrong with that either.
I think even
classic comedy is classic comedy.
I think it holds water these days.
It certainly does.
If it made you laugh, I'm happy.
Yeah, indeed. I'm very glad to see that it was referenced in Andre Previn's his obituary.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, not that Tommy Cooper, but the Mr. Preview sketch.
Oh, well, that was Morecambe and Wise.
It was Morecambe and Wise, but classic comedy is classic comedy.
Well, that was where he famously was playing the piano and said, "Listen, Sunshine, I'm playing all of the right notes, but not necessarily in the right order."
But I love the fact that he picked Andre Previn up by the cuffs of his jacket. He called him Sunshine.
Indeed.
A change of bowling. And it'll be this man. If we've got his jingle.
We have his jingle, indeed.
All the side wants is a Marcus Stoinis. He's the solution, and all the side wants is a Marcus Stoinis. Yeah.
First ball is dabbed. Almost greeble down to third man for a single by Coley, and that will bring up his 50. 50 from 52 deliveries, 108 for 4, much rest on his shoulders now.
50 years they've been married, but they can't wait for the 51st to roll around. Yeah!
And that's his 50th white ball, international white ball 50, and he's made 40 white ball international hundreds, which is pretty good.
He's incredible. The man's a run machine.
Yeah, it's a very good conversion rate, and I mean he's usually batting. I suppose most of his career he'd have batted at 4, I guess, throughout that.
Yeah.
Stoinis in bowls, and that's dabbed into the onside. Yadav wants a single. Kohli says, "Not on your life, mate. Get back, you prat." And indeed, he did get back. Just 108 for 4. It remains.
Update from Pirate Badshah. Oh.
Yeah, it's a highlight.
Oh, was it? Yeah. Yes. Nabi gets ranking LBW, that's it. Ireland 114 all out. Afghanistan win by 109 runs.
Ooh.
Tepid batting from Ireland today. The tail is too long.
It certainly is. I mean, what I do like about Boyd Rankin is he is a proper number 11. Stoinis in bowls. They wrapped him on the pad too high, I fancy. No. He's going to pick up one leg by down to Shorty's third man. Are they going to review? They're going to pretend they care about this and pretend they're going to think about it, but they're not. I think it would be unwise to review.
He came down a lot, didn't he?
Yeah, he was outside his batting crease, and it was still on the way up. I think at absolute best it was going to be umpire's call. It's wrapped him well above the knee roll. Okay, he's not an excessively tall man, but I still think that was going to be going over the top.
I think Joel Wilson got that pretty much spot on.
Yeah, 109 for 4. As he runs in and bowls, and this is pulled down towards long leg or one of these.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Khawaja at squarish long leg, almost deep backward square, and it was nicely played by Kohli. He just rolled his wrists on it and angled it away fine enough to beat Khawaja, who's out there on the fence, and nice swivel pull shot. Picks him up 4. And Stoinis is one of those sportsmen, a bit like de Kock. He looks as though he's just about to burst into tears at any moment, doesn't he?
Well, he's got those big eyes. He was famously described, I'll tell you in a minute.
Stoinis in bowls, and that's leg glance, and that's going to be 4 more. Nobody down there.
That went like a tracer bullet.
It most certainly did. 117 for 4, and that's just the sort of momentum that India need, and Kohli can just flick into a higher gear, and if he can just form a partnership with Yadav, this could be game on for India. He moves slightly across his crease, but he got a large bit of bat on it. He's got no fine leg in place, and it's just a little bit too straight by Stoinis. I know what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
He's trying to drag him across his crease and attack his front pad, but he's quite a good player, is this boy. Next ball is just outside off stump, and Kohli defends 2 short extra cover. It completes the over. 117 for 4. Good one for India.
Yeah, kind of square-jawed and big-eyed. He was famously described by one of our tweeters as looking something like Alistair Cook's hillbilly cousin. Do you remember that? That somehow that's a description that's stuck with me ever since, I'm afraid. Pirate bat. Oh no, I've already read you that one, haven't I? Chris TB says, on the subject of odd digits, Guptill only has 2 toes on his left foot. Yeah, I've got a funny feeling we've got a jingle about that, or that references that or acknowledges that. But you're absolutely right, Chris. That is true. He does. Josh Holland says the first extra finger fell off quite early when I was 9 or 10, and I played my first colonial game with 11 fingers. I took the second off when I was 14 or 15 playing serious cricket. Oh, this is not Josh. This is Josh relaying Garfield's description of his finger removal.
Oh, right.
Nonetheless, doing it to yourself is a bit. Ugh.
Yes, yeah, that's slightly rudimentary surgery, isn't it?
And I'll carry. He sent us another extract. If you want to know the details of exactly how the digits were extracted.
I'm feeling a bit squeamish, me.
Well, I'll read it fairly quickly, but I'll wait until
we've got to change of bowling. We'll have his jingle after his first ball. Nameless bowler comes in and bowls.
Zampa, same bowler.
It hit off his back foot to the cover sweeper. It's just a single. Sorry, you're absolutely right. No, it wasn't. It was line, wasn't it?
No, it was Zampa before.
I beg your pardon.
Yeah, it's been this for a while, I think.
118 for 4. Sorry, Stoinis took over from line.
It was.
Right. Yep. Beg your pardon. 118 for 4. Kohli back on strike. 58 from 55. Zampa in bowls. Flighted delivery. Stroked by Kohli for an agreed single out to the cover sweeper. And quite wisely, quite a few, particularly the men on the boundary, have got little towels tucked into the back of their trousers. Imagine there's quite a bit of dew around, and they can wipe their hands and keep their hands dryish. Zampa in bowls, and that's defended with the front foot by Yadav, straight back to the bowler, and there is no run. 119 for 4, it remains.
I won't have time because it's quite a lengthy extract. Mumat Ahiko was asking, I heard a rumour that the T20 might be online if Sky aren't buying the rights. Any news on this?
Zampa bowls, and this is punch driven back by Yadav. It's half fielded by Zampa and tidied up by the captain Finch at mid-on.
I think the correct answer to that one, Mumat, is if you're referring to the West Indies England T20 series, then the dispute's been settled and it's going ahead as planned. If you're referring to something else, then just tweet us and let us know and we'll find you the answer.
Zampa drops in and bowls too short, and this is pulled massively out to the straightest deep mid wicket boundary for one of these.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I think most decent club cricketers would fancy their chance of hitting that for 4.
Yeah.
It was very much a half tracker, and Yadav tucked into that joyously and just pulled it off his front foot. Hit it very hard indeed. 123 for 4, got what it deserved. 5 men inside the circle, 3 offside, 2 onside. Zampa bowls, sweep shot, a silly appeal from Zampa. He didn't think it out. In fact, he knows it wasn't out, so the umpire just gives him his cap. End of the over, there is no run. 123 for 4, halfway through the Indian innings.
Yeah, Josh Holland, right, so the continuing story of Sir Garfield's digits. The first of the spare fingers came off with the help of a piece of catgut wrapped around the base and a sharp tug, something like the old-fashioned way of removing a child's milk tooth. The other came off with the help of a sharp knife. Oh. Whoa.
Brave lad.
Oh.
Sobering thought, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, dear. The Sumerians counted bones on their fingers to get 12, says Rennie Keita. That's interesting to know.
Who did?
Have I got time for Jason? Yes,
yes,
I
please
have.
do.
I always have time for Jason. Jason Hiscox. Hello, Jace.
Afternoon,
catching up with Gorilla colleagues online after a vexatious morning. We'll carry on with that in a minute.
Strongest bowls, and it goes up and over extra cover. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bounces, 4. Stoinis overcorrecting there, having been clipped away leg side for 2 4s in his previous over. Went wide outside off stump, just gave Kohli enough room to free his arms, and he quite deliberately opened the bat face to get it up and over extra cover, taking it away from mid-off, who's deep on the circle. The next ball is in towards his pads, and it's clipped by Kohli. just for a single out to the sweeper on the leg side boundary, 128 for 4. Are they going to pick up an overthrow? No, they're not. Shame. I like the cry of buzzers, particularly when it's yeah. Well, particularly when Australia are involved, it's doubly joyous. I mean, buzzers are great fun anyway, but particularly when it's from the convicts. 128 for 4. Yadav back on strike. A bit of a partnership now being formed between these two, and Yadav doing the right thing, trying to, if he's dished up a half track as he was last over, try and clout it for 4. Otherwise, probably get off strike and give it back to Kohli.
It's pushed the run rate above 5 as well again now, which it hasn't been at for a while.
Yep, which is good. And it doesn't matter what format of cricket; it's all about partnerships. Yadav comes watchfully forward defensively and pushes it to extra cover, and there is no run.
I've got some highs on Quick Tracker as well.
Good.
Amir Mohammed is high, and Samir as well. Also, Jason Hiscox is watching on here as well.
Oh.
So
hi, Jace.
Good afternoon, all.
Hello.
Yeah, I was partway through his tweet, wasn't I?
Yeah.
I'm just checking these are replays. Yes, they are. He's had a vexatious morning at the GP's giving blood for tests and then attempting to replace failing mobile phone. Good to see Manny and John at Gorilla Towers. Been a while.
Next ball is greebled. Oh, we like that. The greeble off the back foot, Yadav. Excellent.
Give us some more of these terms.
An excellent little shot down to third man. And it was almost a greeble supreme because Stoinis is now mouthing off at him. That's excellent. Can we double teapot though, please, Stoinis, to get the real greeble supreme. 129 for 4. Yadav moves on to 16. Kohli back on strike on 64 from 58. Who's next into bat for India? What's that?
I was looking up Greeble actually.
Oh, sorry, I do beg your pardon.
And then I
Stoinis in bowls, and that is regally flicked away by Kohli off his hit, almost Gordon Greenwich like, down to the deep square leg boundary for one of these.
2 + 2 is on
Yeah, I think he's targeting Stoinis here. I mean, he's really at this level he's no more than medium pace, and Kohli can almost hit him where he wants, and is.
I'm working out. I wonder if I've got time to read this.
Go for it.
I'll give it a
Just
go.
Go
right.
for it. Come on.
Yeah, Greeble, right? So, actually, well, I haven't because here's Stoinis.
Stoinis in bowls, and this is beautifully extra cover driven by Kohli. I mean, that was just caressed through extra cover. He's a net bowler, this boy. 137 for 4. That could be the end of his spell,
I hope so.
and that's just the acceleration that India need.
It's Nissan She. It's Nissan She.
Right, so a greeble or nurni, which is also a really good word. A greeble or nurni is a fine detailing added to the surface of a larger object that makes it appear more complex and therefore more visually interesting. It usually gives the audience an impression of increased scale. Is that relevant in any way to the way you describe the cricket shot?
I think
Not
that's
really.
exactly what I said.
Well, there you go. Well, there you are then.
Yes, sounds very similar.
But it could be called a nurni. I like the idea of a nurni. He's just
a nurni,
whipped away a nurni into the leg side.
Yeah, I think they should probably, that's sort of more North Country or even Scottish. And
it does say an AI. It's just on the front foot. He's put away a nurni there.
Very good.
137 for 4. And there's going to be a change in the attack. Yes, there is. And we have a jingle for this, man. We do.
If I had $1 million, I'll buy you a Glenn Maxwell, then we are no longer friends.
He looks a wee bit like a sort of younger version of Desperate Dan to me.
Who is this? Stoinis?
No.
Glenn
Maxwell.
Oh, Maxwell.
Once he starts eating heavily after he retires, he could look exactly like Desperate Dan.
Tucking into some cow pie.
Yeah, indeed. It was a fairly standard set menu, wasn't it, that Desperate Dan had? I think it was
cow pie and more cow pie.
Yeah, it was a bit like Alf Tapper. It was always fish and chips. First ball is defended back to the bowler, and there is no run. He's bowling round the wicket. Is Maxwell. Slight change in the field. He wants to adjust. He's made that adjustment. He will trot in off about 4 paces. Yadav just knocks it away. On the onside, will pick up an easy enough single. They think about a second as the ball ricochets, I think, via the stumps at the non-striker's end. But they don't. There is no extra run. Kohli back on strike.
50 partnership for these guys, but they've still got a lot of run rates to catch up with.
They do.
Maxwell in bowls, and that's through everything. There's an appeal, but that's going to run away for 4, and I think that's going to be 4 byes. The umpire shaking his head. No, leg byes.
Oh, has he?
He's given it as leg byes. Are they going to review? He's bowling round the wicket. Maxwell is saying, "Surely, skipper, that's going to hit everything." He's talking to the, he's talking to the keeper Carey and to Finch. Finch isn't interested. He said, "Get back to your mark, you dickhead, and bowl." 142 for 4. It wasn't the worst shout, but had they review, I mean, he's quite a long way forward. Is that going to turn back enough?
Did it actually pitch in line? I thought it pitched just outside leg, outside off.
Yeah, but it's where it's impacted.
The
next ball is full and flicked away down to deep mid wicket for a single. 143 for 4. So it's 4 leg byes, useful runs. We're just seeing the replay of it. It struck in line. Is it going over the top? Actually, it was a difficult one for the keeper to take because it cannoned off the front pad. Was it going over the top? There was enough there not to give that. Next ball is smashed by Yadav, flat like a 2-iron, straight back over the bowler's head for one of these. He hit that very hard indeed, came down the track, got just enough elevation to clear the bowler's head, and it was drilled. Had it been a couple of foot lower, it might have taken Maxwell's hands off, because he really smashed it. 147 for 4, Yadav to 21. He bowls again, and another greeble.
That was a greeble.
That was a lovely greeble, slightly squarer this time, into the offside. Again, it results in a single. 148 for 4 at the end of the over.
Durban Oak, or Way Pom, says a greeble supreme sounds like a pizza with seafood. Messi Jez says Kohli is much better in the helmet than the bullshit hat. And Jason Hiscock says, yes, Manny Bingo, scratch off greeble, what's next on the list?
Keep him waiting. Keep him waiting, Jason. That's the tactic. If it's not too much to ask, Tony, can we get just what the bookies have got the prices? I do ask. I am quite needy.
You're a needy man.
I am. Anyway, with the comparison on the worms, the Indian worm is turning northwards, which is good for them. They're still slightly below where Australia were at this point, but there's not a lot in it.
No, it's not as far as I thought.
And the longer they can take this partnership, the better. There is a change of bowling, a much needed change of bowling, as the hapless Stoinis is off, and this man is back into the attack. And his line is in and bowls just outside off stump, and Yadav comes inching forward and defends into the offside, and there is no run. We're just looking at the replay of the appeal for LBW in the previous over, and that was going over the top of the stumps fairly comfortably. 148 for 4. It remains a leg glance by Yadav down to fine leg for an agreed single. He moves on to 22. Kohli back on strike, has swiftly moved on to 73, and very much the danger man as far as Australia are concerned. If they can pick him up, they've got every chance of winning. Kohli forces off his back foot. Lyon rather mistimes his dive like a Scottish goalkeeper, and the ball sort of disappears underneath him, and down to a long on for a single. 150 for 4.
I don't know if I'm reading this right, Manny. India and Australia in play. It says 1 5-2 and 2 4-6. What does that actually? I know what the odds mean, but let's look at all odds.
As a line in bowls, flatter, quicker delivery, push to square leg. I think that's Khawaja doing the fielding. He throws in a rather angry return to Nathan Lyon, who takes quite neatly. And there is no run.
Betting for the winner. Okay, so Bet365 says home win 13-8, away win 1-2. Does that make sense for you?
Yeah. Next one, an attempted reverse sweep by Yadav. It hits him on his front pad, going wide of off stump. There is no appeal, unwisely so. Current run rate 5.4. Fag paper underneath it. They require 7.4. But the next ball again agreeable, this time off the front foot, just backward as well on the offside, and again he will keep the bowling at the end of the over. And good progress now being made by India, and Australia will start to worry a little bit now if this partnership progresses very much more.
I think a greeble sounds more like a sort of a small pointy-eared creature that would live at the bottom of a garden.
Similar to gremlin, I suppose. That
yeah,
from
maybe that's where it comes from. The little greebles at the end of the garden.
You see, I see the greeble as very much sort of an onomatopoeic. I mean, I think it sort of sums up the shot.
Yeah.
It's not full-blooded. It's not a blast or a smash, or it's you're just using the pace of the ball and just running it down towards third man, and it also has the considerable merit that it upsets the bowler as well.
Wasn't it a Peter Cook character as well, or was that Strebe
Greebling?
Strebe Greebling, yeah.
Strebe Greebling. Now we really are dating ourselves.
Well, there you go.
Maxwell bowls and it pitches no more than 2 foot outside leg stump, and it's just kicked away by Yadav, and there is no run. A pointless appeal. I mean, just know the laws of the game, you silly person.
Schoolboy stuff.
151 for 4. Maxwell bowls, and an attempted cut shot by Yadav. It was there for the shot. He just missed it to cut over the top of it. Neatly taken by Carey, and there is no run. He's 24 from 33. Cody 74 from 63. Round arm delivery from Maxwell, clipped away by Yadav out to deep square leg, and it comes in off the boundary. Gets his throw away quickly. It's a rather scruffy one, and it's well backed up. Just a single. 152 for 4. They require another 162 off 129. So I mean, the run rate's very much within their compass. India just got to keep wickets intact, particularly the man on strike. Partnership now 66 from just 56 deliveries. So good progress. Maxwell in bowls, and Kohli clips this, but straight to mid-wicket, and there is no run.
It's been a good 2 last overs. There was only 3 off Lions last over.
Yeah,
one's gone for 1.
But if you look at the I think
the partnership.
The partnership. I mean, which I think they will be thinking about. I mean, if you have one decent over every now and again, it's more than manageable for India. The next ball is pitched up and punch driven by Kohli down to long on. For an agreed single, 153 for 4.
Jeff Perkins says, if the Indian worm is turning northwards, does that mean it's heading towards Kashmir?
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. How long did it take you to work that one out? A flatter, quicker delivery, which is pushed straight to mid-wicket. End of the over, a tidy enough one from Maxwell, despite his silly appeal. Any more tweets?
Oh, yes, indeed. Rennie Keita says, perhaps one reason for Kohli's success, he doesn't risk hitting sixes. Last year he hit just 13 in 14 innings. I think that's a really good observation.
Well, also I think with him, he's got such a good range of shots. In a way, he can take the view, he said, look, I don't need to hit the ball in the air because I can manipulate the ball around the ground, opening or closing the face of the bat as I wish, and almost take that risk out of it.
Smooty says, do you have a dictionary corner at Gorilla Towers now? Maybe Susie Dent will guest one day. Ooh, wouldn't that be good? That would be
calm down.
Showing your age, guys.
Lion bowls, and the screen is frozen. So we can't tell you what happened to that ball.
Let's have a guess. I say it's pitched on and he's blocked it, and it's been...
I'm going to say it's clipped into the gap on the onside.
Okay.
And it's a single. We will wait and see.
What's this?
It's a few running repairs, and we seem to be back and in good order again.
No, you're absolutely right. There was no run. Lion in bowls, and this is slog swept by Kohli. It doesn't meet the man at mid-wicket, who is Maxwell, and there is no run. It remains 157 for 4 as we do a bit of semaphore just to amuse ourselves.
Henderfor.
As Lion comes in and bowls, and yet again he does the old Robert Crofts bit of just stopping halfway through his action. He doesn't really. It was just a stutter in the transmission. Kohli picks up a single down to long on. Marsh does the fielding.
Hendo all in black could be Rowan Atkinson, couldn't you remember? I am a mime, and my body is a tool.
Men in Black. Famous Men in Black. Gary Player.
Oh,
Johnny
yes.
Cash.
Johnny Cash.
In bowls, and this is defended by Yadav, and there is no run. The ball we missed, did that go for 4? I think he must have done, because it was 4.1 this so far this over.
It did then, didn't it?
Yeah, it must have gone for 4.
We guessed it wrong.
Yeah, indeed. We did. But where it went, we do not know. It's lost in the mists of time. Next ball is flat out and worked into the onside, shy at the stumps. A direct hit, he'd have been out, and I think he's in. Maxwell angry with himself, and that was a risky signal. 159 for 4. That should be the end of the over. It says there's a ball to come in this over. I made that 6 balls. We've missed one. We're just seeing a replay of it. Cody on the stretch, direct hit. He was out, but it was not a direct hit. Maxwell's really rather irritated, nay peeved with himself for missing that. There is an extra ball in this over, and it's punched off the back foot by Kohli out to the cover sweeper for a single. He will keep the strike at the end of the over. He moves to 81. India progressing well, 160 for 4 at the end of that over.
I'm just going to read one more tweet because it made me laugh so much. Jeff Perkins says, agreeable sounds like someone who's very easy to get on with.
And we've got loads of highs from Quick Tracker. Just to say, we can't show the live video. We are a radio station, but we show a stream of us talking about it, which is great. So hopefully you can come on board and watch us as well.
The best things in life are free. Just like Gorilla Commentary, we need money. That's what I want. We need money. I don't like the BBC. I prefer Gorilla Commentary. I want money. $20 for the archive. That's what I want.
Buy a t-shirt. For goodness sake, go and buy a t-shirt. It's on the... I mean, how often do I have to tell you?
I bought a t-shirt.
There you go. And he bought a t-shirt. It's on the website, gorillacricket.com, 1R, 2 Ls. Go down the right-hand side and you'll find a picture of a t-shirt. And then you can have any colour you want. Jai Richardson back into the attack. And down the wicket comes Kohli. Meets this well enough in the end. I'm surprised he didn't jab it in short for him there. But he did okay there, Manny, didn't he? In the end?
Did. I think Kohli's in the mood now. I think he's deliberately targeting certain bowlers. He's decided he'll probably just push people like Lyon around, but Stoinis, he decided he had to go. He can't. Yeah, he has. But I think he might also take the same attitude with Richardson as well.
He's got pace on the ball from Richardson, but he's quite a decent bowler, I think. Well, he's helped that on its way already. It was slightly angled down the leg side, and he helped on its way. Picks up 4 runs.
They are one person, they are two alone, they are 3 together, they are 4 each other.
It's an interesting one. It was a little cutter which took a puff of dust as it pitched in the middle of the wicket, but Virat played it well.
Yeah, he did play very well, but I think he's more after this ball.
Is Richardson again in outside the off stump. He's crashed that through the offside. One leg off the floor as he climbed into that. 4. Wow, 4. That really was a 4.
It certainly was. But I think for Kohli, this is he's what, mid-80s, 88 mile an hour. Not quick for at this level, particularly for a man of Kohli's
he's obviously seeing the ball well.
Yeah, he is, but I think he's just said, right, this boy's got to go because there's enough pace on it, as you say, just to use the pace. He's not going to discomfort him for about 95 mile an hour, is he?
Well, he's more watchful on this occasion. There's a better ball closer to the line of off stump. Keeps him honest and he defends it into the offside, and there is no run. 8 runs off the over. But it's that pickup, isn't it? And that's that beautiful swing. He never loses his shape, does he?
He doesn't use it, and he's still got a very, although there's a little bit of madam after the shot, he's still so incredibly well balanced, isn't he? Which, I mean, all good players in all sport, it's balance that matters, in shape, as you say. I mean, shape and balance, it's so important.
Shape was a very good number 6 for England at one point, as this is
and balance.
Balance not so good.
No, not so good.
This is a play to backward point. Has there ever been a cricketer called Mr. There must have been someone called Shape, wasn't there? You got balance. There must have been a Shape.
I I don't think so.
I can't remember one, Hendo.
No.
I'd love there to.
You don't remember DRJ Shape from the?
Did he play as an amateur?
I think he might have done.
Hello, Manny. I haven't worked with you before.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Manny. Well, it's all going off in here. It's
it's
introductions
wild,
all round.
yeah.
It's marvellous stuff. Here comes Richardson to finish this over. We think, unless because he bowls a no ball. Nice rhythmic run up, and that's very clever from Kohli. He just drops that down towards gully and hurries through for a single, keeps himself the strike. 169 for 4 from 31. Any tweets?
Yeah, one more from Mog, who says agreeably is a bit of fine detailing used on a model. Star Wars is famous for them on its spaceships.
Is that right?
There you are.
Well,
I'm not a Star Wars aficionado, so I will take
I
the word.
like a good bit of Star Wars.
Do you?
Do you know what
It doesn't make you a bad person.
No, good. It doesn't make me a bad person, no.
There are plenty of things that do make you a bad person, obviously, but that one isn't one of them. Yeah.
I can't think of one.
No. But you are only worth a fifth.
Oh no!
No,
I'm
more than
worth
less than a fifth of what Tony
compared
Bishop is
to
worth
Tony
to us.
Bishop.
We managed to sell Tony Bishop for $500 last week.
You sold me for 10.
Only 10. We only got 10 for Annie. It was basically
market forces.
Well, you see,
harsh.
We were asking for $500 to keep Tony on for the whole game, and so he did the whole 100 overs. And we tried the same this morning with Annie, and after 40 overs,
They were asking for £1,000.
we were asking for £1,000.
I mean,
we did get 10. 169 for 4. Kohli's now moved on to 90 from 75 balls. Jadav 26
It's Kohli
from 37.
day.
It's Kohli day. It's not
yeah,
Dhoni.
not Dhoni day. It's Kohli.
We knew it was an OE sort of day, but just Kohli rather than Dhoni. Well, it's always Kohli day, isn't it? To be honest,
Every day's Kohli day.
Zampa is back into the attack. He's got 4 overs, 1 for 23. He's coming into Kohli. He's in, and Kohli slashes at that. Oh, it's only just short of the man at backward point, or one of the men at backward point. There seem to be 2 patrolling that area. Lyon made the dive, but it was cut away for 4. 94. He's just in the zone, isn't he?
Yeah, and you just feel if he needs to go up another gear, he can do it, Hendo, as well. I mean, that was a slightly risky shot, but he still had enough control of it, didn't he?
He did. Well, we worked out this morning that he needed to get 107 if he was going to be out and take his average from 59 point something to 60. He's well on the way towards that. Knuckle it was who told us that. He goes back to that, forces through mid-on, and this time just takes the single.
Yes. It would bloody well have to be Knuckle, wouldn't it? He really has got too much bloody time on his hands.
The other thing is, we send him to work. We make him, go and.
We send him at other places. I don't think he's doing any work. Clearly not.
Could be that. Well, actually, that's the kind of job that I'd like. He seems to have so much time in his job. I'd be quite happy. Well, I'd like to have a job at all.
Maybe
he's
he's just very fast at doing everything.
I think it could be that as well. Thrown up, Jadav drives this into the ground and back into the hands of Zampa.
Don't want to cast aspersions on his work.
No, not at all.
I'd like to.
So, Kohli's really got India into this game. 174 for 4, 140 needed off 111, and that's a swept or an attempted sweep, and that's out. That is out. But it's not Kohli, it's Jadav. He got forward, tried to sweep, played all over it, and hit him on the pad. Looked pretty adjacent to me. He's going to ask. He's going to ask Kohli what he thinks, and I think Virat says, "No, I'm sorry, mate. I think, in all honesty, you're on your bike," and he is on his bike. Is that it? Oh, that was it. I thought there was more to come. Yes, it just went straight on. The keeper has barely gone down the leg side.
Well, he hasn't, has he?
No.
I mean, it was just a matter of was there going to be some doubt in the umpire's mind because he was a reasonable way down the pitch. He got a decent stride in, but that might have saved you 20 years ago, Hendo, but it doesn't save you these days, does it?
No, God, I mean, I always thought that I got out LBW far too much. I just think I would have got out a lot more if I must have been playing now.
Well, that's undoubtedly true. I think that's true of all batsmen because umpires.
Bradman was probably shit.
Well, I've always thought that, but I've been a minority. But umpires in our day, Hendo, would, if you were on the front foot defending the ball, they wouldn't give you out. If you were in exactly the same position playing the sweep shot, they probably would give you out.
Yes.
Certain umpires did not like the sweep shot.
No, you got given for the shot, didn't you? And
get off the pitch, boy.
If you were to be so reckless as to play a sweep shot, of all things,
you idiot! And it's not even July. What are you thinking of?
Absolutely, out to the crease.
Whereas now you have
Comes
to
the new
play
batsman.
one, don't you,
Yeah,
really?
you do.
You're not
It's-
versatile otherwise.
This is right. It's Vijay Shankar coming to the crease. We'll jingle him up very shortly. He's
Oh,
just
yes.
putting his helmet on and still has a glove to attach. Yeah, go for it. Let's go for it. Vijay Shankar. He's going to be ready any minute now. Yeah, any minute now. Let's leave it till after this ball. Then he's just taking his guard. He's actually played 7 matches, but he's only had 2 innings, in which he has scored 91 runs at an average of 45. Both his innings have ended with him being run out, especially the one, especially unfortunate in the last one, in the second ODI when he was run out backing up. Anyway, here he is, settling down and waiting for Adam Zampa to bowl. After having got the wicket of Kedar Jadhav, he's got a slip. That's the only close fielder, but the men on the single tight on that single. It's a good ball. Vijay comes forward and somehow keeps it out.
I'll jingle him up.
Entirely gamely.
Hey girls, beat boys, superstar
VJ.
Here we go. Hey girl.
Oh, interesting. Zampa continues, throws this one up and he drives. Doesn't really time the ball, but there's no one to stop it before it gets to long off, and that's where it goes. They take a single. He's off the mark. 175 for 5.
Yeah, I think Kohli in particular will be disappointed in Yadav. I mean, he'd done the hard work.
Yep.
All he needed then was support. He can play second fiddle. And I know all of life, particularly cricket, is very easy with the benefit of hindsight, but he didn't really
He just
need to
needed
play.
to stay there, didn't he,
did.
really?
You know,
Yeah.
push the singles
Yep.
around,
Yep.
give the majority of the strike to the main man, play second fiddle.
Mhm.
It's not that onerous a role. It's it's a little walk on part, isn't
Well, yeah.
it? You've got 5 lines. Don't bugger it up. Okay, you're not playing Hamlet, mate. It's just you're your third spear carrier from the right, and that's what you're doing. And so I think Kohli gave him a bit of an old-fashioned
Yeah,
look.
he didn't look happy,
No,
did he?
he did
No,
not look
no.
happy, and rightly so.
Well, it's going to be Shankar to take strike as Glenn Maxwell comes back into the attack. Out of the attack then goes Jai Richardson after just the 1 over, I think.
Well, I'm not surprised.
Well,
it was
what,
pretty-
9 runs? It wasn't. I mean, let's face it, you're bowling to the best batsman in the world.
You are, but you just felt with him. I was saying to Tony and the boys that he just looked as though it was just the right pace for Kohli. There was enough pace on the ball for him to manoeuvre it where he wanted, and he did.
Maxwell round the wicket with his slingy action, and Shankar turns it into the onside. He's thinking about a single as Finch comes round and fires the ball into low at the toes
Just
of
going
the
to jingle him
wicketkeeper.
up.
Okay.
If I had $1 million, if I had $1 million, I'll buy you a Glenn Maxwell, then we are no longer friends.
Wide of the off stump, chopped, good shot from Shankar.
super
Finds
shot,
the gap
mate.
between short third man and backward point, and it runs away to the boundary for one of these.
2 + 2 is a member.
Yeah, very good shot.
And the long search by Australia for anything approaching an all-rounder still goes on,
Going on.
doesn't it?
Yes.
He said with a huge smirk on his face.
I suppose what they have got is they've got a couple of lower order batsmen who are quite good batsmen as bowlers, if that makes sense. Oh, now what's happened there? He's leant forward. Has he been beaten on the inside edge by that? I think he has. May have come off Dhoni, in which case it might have been a mis-stumping. It's been given as a bye. I'd like to see that from side on. I'm not sure whether he overbalanced and fell out of his crease, but
Why do you
he's
say
got away with
Dhoni?
it.
Because
Why
he's
am I
very
saying Dhoni?
old.
Because I just don't like Dhoni. No, I meant Carey. That's exactly what I meant. And it's less likely that Dhoni would do that because he's got a very large number of stumpings among his ODI victims. Onto the back foot goes Kohli, crunches it back to the bowler. There is no run. Yeah, you've got Cummins and you've got Stark. They can bat, but
Yeah.
you wouldn't say they were all rounders as such.
No,
Or
you wouldn't.
They've
I
got
mean,
a bit to do before being considered that.
definitely.
Maxwell again to Kohli. He's going to take a single here as he runs it into the onside towards mid-wicket. Finch is in the action again.
I would say Stark is only ever going to be a useful striker. Cummings, there might be more there
Yes.
in the tank. I think particularly given his age, he might develop into a number 7.
Yeah,
eventually.
I think
That's
all-rounder
possible.
is overused sometimes with cricket.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Actually, yes. When you actually mean a lot of the time,
A
we used to mean
batsman that can
and also we
bowl
also used
or-
to mean bits and pieces cricketers as well.
Yeah.
Maxwell in to Shankar. Shankar's looking for a single again. He'll get it as he plays that behind square on the onside. Kawaja fields, and that is the end of the 33rd over. 182 for 5, 132 runs required of 102 balls. Any tweets?
No.
No.
It's gone totally quiet on that front, unless the screen has frozen, which is possible. But the
They seem to be coming in clumps.
okay.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
So, a bit
what-
like runs, maybe.
Yeah. But also
Wickets.
the term all-rounder used to, was often used in the 90s for being crap at both.
Yes, well, that's true.
I'm possibly thinking of Derek Pringle to name but 5.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I've
No,
commentated next to him, and he's very big.
He is very big. I
Very
played
big.
against him, and he was
Oh,
very
right.
big then.
Yes, he was.
But he was. To be fair to him, he did become a good white ball bowler in the end. I thought.
I've
He
just
was-
read his book. He's quite a conquest.
He's had a conquest
He's
or
had
two.
lots of
Yes,
conquests.
I
of this.
understood that book had quite a lot of that in it.
It certainly did.
One of the Simon Hughes books did as well. I can't remember. Was it Yakking Around the World? Seemed to.
A lot of hard yakking.
A lot of hard other things as well.
Yeah.
This is forced through mid-on by Shankar. He'll take another single. He's nicely into his stride. He goes to 7, a run a ball. Kohli is now on 96. He's one blow away from yet another one-day international 100. Be a second of the series, a second in a row. He's absolutely a machine, but a very attractive machine. Not a particularly
Yep, and good through the covers.
very good through the covers. As Zampa throws that one in a little bit flatter, and he steers it away through square leg. He races the first one very quickly indeed. He's always looking for that second. He won't get one here though. 184 for 5. Kohli 97. Shankar 7. Zampa's now picked up 2 wickets. 2 for 31. He's into his 6th over, so 6 wickets already in this series. He's done his job pretty well. Here he comes again into Shankar, and Shankar just eases the ball through mid-off for another single. He's doing the job that Kohli requires of him, picking up the singles.
Yeah,
and
that's exactly his role.
Yep.
8 off 8, that's fine.
And it's also something that he, is going to catch the eye of someone like Kohli. He's going to think, yes, I can rely on this man, and it'll do his World Cup hopes no end of good. Now this one turns a little bit as Kohli got onto the back foot and ended up having to sort of manoeuvre it down into the ground with a lot of bottom hand. Maybe just jumped on him a little bit more than he thought, or did he perhaps misread that one and think it was the googly? I'm not sure. Anyway.
I think that was right. I do think he thought it was a Google.
Anyway, here's a Zampa again. Again, it's flatter, and he whisks this one away through mid-wicket. Lovely stroke. Only a single again to the man in the deep. 186 for 5. 128 required off 97 balls. And if Kohli remains, you would think that this was pretty easy going for India.
Same as last match.
Well, in a way,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
I mean, oh, you mean the first one where
Sorry,
where they lost 4 earliest
yeah,
wickets?
and
Yeah.
Kohli.
Yeah, and Dhoni.
Remained.
Now that was thrown through by Zampa, and I can understand why he's got his hand in his head, or his hand in his head. He's got his head in his hands, because that one went through, forced him onto the back foot, but although it was quite full, and if he hadn't got back down on that, would have been plumb in front.
Probably should have come forward to
Yeah,
that,
I think
shouldn't
so.
he? But he's in very good nick, and he middled it. Still no more tweets.
Well, what's going on out there? I just have no idea what you people are up to. When we have only only 3 people here, you inundate us with tweets. Now we've got almost a full house.
It's a contrary nature.
Or it could be the fact that you're on tweets, Manny.
It could be. It could be.
They think, why did we bother?
Why
should we bother?
There's no point.
No point. No point.
He's
at all.
too old and too blind to be able to see.
He won't be able to do that.
Doesn't understand the technology. All of which is correct.
All of which is true.
So maybe you've done something to the technology there.
Deliberately.
I do hope so.
Did you unplug it or something? Maybe that's why.
Oh,
that! Oh, damn.
Bugger.
Goodness me. There's no getting away from Kohli. If you're not seeing him bat, you're seeing him eating carrots in an advert for the IPL. Why carrots? I don't know. Anyway, we will, of course, be endeavouring to bring you as much IPL as we can. Stand. That is, as we can, is what I meant to say. And,
no, you do.
So look out for that along the way. Oh God, there's at least one match every day from March the 23rd. it comes at you so quickly that it's hard to get. It's hard to really, unless you sort of have the time to really look at the stats and stuff. It's hard to get your head around.
Well, apparently that's the way of cricket these days.
Yeah, true,
you know,
true.
so she said cynically.
But there is an element of truth in that, because nothing stands out. One match just merges
into
into another,
yeah.
and it is difficult to remember what the hell you were even watching the day before.
It is,
and
true.
it's because each. Ooh, hello.
No, it's all right. It's okay.
Everything just sort of, as I say, merges into one sort of game. You don't recall any particular game, and it doesn't have any. Each game does not, in its own right, have a context almost, does it? I mean, it's. I suppose by the time it gets down to the semi-finals and the finals, yes. But just it's this grind of games after games.
It's not the IPL. It's just the way of T20 tournaments.
Yeah.
I think it's true of the. It's true of the Big Bash, and I mean, to be honest, I don't pay attention to the other ones at all, because I just, can't get my head around them. But there are some fascinating sort of things to observe. There's an interesting one. I was talking to Nakul about it the other day. That is it. Unadkat, I think he's a left-arm quick bowler from India, who was playing for the Rajasthan Royals. Was bought for an enormous amount of money last year. Didn't have a very good IPL. So Rajasthan let him go. They released him, but then in the auction they bought him back for 3 million less than they'd actually bought him for last year. So that was actually quite a good deal that they've done. Yeah, absolutely. Maxwell will continue. So there's all these sort of fascinating subplots, but you have to have the time to read it all.
But do you follow a player or do you follow a team?
That's another good question. I think a lot of people will follow a team because they have a favourite player. I think that's another thing that
so your allegiance
differentiates
changes,
it. Yeah. Maxwell bowls. Oh, now what happened there? Did he get a little edge to that? Did Carey put that down? Maxwell turns his back immediately. I think he might have got an edge to that, and I think Carey has dropped that. Let's have another look at this. It's fired from round the wicket. Oh yes, definite edge. Oh my goodness, he's dropped Kohli on 98. No wonder Kohli was grinning. He's down the wicket now, driving. Comes off the outside edge. He probably will get through for a single. They will indeed. But what a miss that could prove to be. 187 for 5. We see the replay again. Maxwell was obviously just so annoyed. He didn't know what to say. He just had to turn his back. Otherwise, he would have let a stream of expletives go towards Alex Carey. I'm pretty sure of that.
Oh, yeah.
He's in again. Bowls to Shankar, who sweeps across the line.
Pitched outside leg.
Pitched outside leg. Yeah, there's a big appeal, but no can do.
The umpire's smiling.
What is Maxwell saying? He's saying something, mate. There was a mate on the end of it, but I don't know whether what was said before was actually that polite. They're going to review this, strangely enough. They have got one review.
I thought that was pitched outside leg peg. I mean, I think maybe going on to hit, but just the shape of the shot. And
probably umpire's call.
It's given not out, so it's got it all to do to get the wicket, hasn't it? Especially coming round the wicket. The angle was like, it's going to be miles outside leg stump, isn't it? That is miles outside leg.
It doesn't look good, does it, from here?
Oh, that's crazy. I mean, that's basically in the footmarks of a particular
so
quick bowler.
So who called that for that review?
Well, I don't know. Finch did, but whether it was under sort of pressure from
under
Maxwell.
Duress.
And I wonder whether he was under duress because, of course, he's missed out on that wicket of Kohli a couple of balls earlier. That might have had something to do with the displeasure of Maxwell and him talking Finch into reviewing that. He's a long way down as well.
Yeah. There isn't much going for this unless there's another camera angle which shows something different, but this is surely pitching outside leg stump.
It's well outside leg stump. Not even
a ridiculous
close.
Review.
That's crazy.
Yeah, indeed.
Thrown away. They might need that later. You never know.
Oh, well, let's hope so.
187 for 5. It remains the decision stands, and Finch looks on impassive.
Yeah, good decision.
So Shankar waits. In comes Maxwell. He's onto the back foot here, steering it through mid-wicket for a single. And takes the score on to 188 for 5. Brings Kohli back down to face on 99. Yet another Kohli 100. You just cannot stop this man. He is all the world's great cricketers ever rolled into one. Here comes Maxwell in, and he's forward, and he pushes that through mid-on. It's an easy single. He's going to come back for a second even. He celebrates as he goes to another wonderful 100 from
Batting
just
lad.
85 balls, dropped on 98. That is his 41st one-day international 100 to go with 49 50s. It's an incredible record.
20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 100. Congratulations, sir. You are a centurion.
And he takes another single through square leg at the end of the over and keeps the strike. So 90 scores of 50 or more in one-day international cricket.
And his conversion rate is staggering. Really. I mean,
Absolutely
49 50s
hard.
and 41 of those he's turned, and then 4100. So that's
Yes.
I mean,
It is astounding.
Yeah, I mean, because conversion rates normally you're looking at if you're every third time you get to 50, if you convert one of those into 100, you've done quite well. Well, he's doing almost every other one, isn't he?
Absolutely. It is
breathtaking,
It is
really.
breathtaking. If he gets over 107, whatever happens, he will have an average of 60 plus. Drives this one from Zampa very straight. It's going to go all the way, is it? Well, I think, well, it's been half stop. I think two people have combined there. The man at long on sort of offloaded it to the man at long off.
I think they might look at that.
I think they will have to have a look at that.
I
It was
think
great
they'd
work. Marsh and Cummins were the two involved.
I think they're good. I think they've saved 2 runs there.
Oh, that's great work. Marsh was coming around from his left. He grabs it, offloads it, or just drops it. I'm not sure which, as he goes into the fence himself. And Cummins, who was further forward from there, then runs over, scrapes it back with his fingernails as he goes flying over the Ultratech cement surrounds. And they've done extremely well. Excellent work.
Yeah, certainly from that angle, that looks as though he's just pulled it back in time. Maybe this angle shows something different, but certainly the view from the other camera was favouring the bowler.
Brilliant. That's brilliant.
Yeah,
I think
it
that's
is.
fine.
Lovely
I think that's
timing.
fine.
Yeah, good fielding.
Oh, brilliant fielding. I mean, just for the fielding itself, it doesn't deserve to be a boundary.
No.
Really, because that was such a great effort from both of them.
Shades of Monty Panesar.
Oh yes, makes you think of him and Tuffers, doesn't it? Makes you think of all the greats. So yes, just the 2 runs. Kohli moves to 104. 193 for 5 is the score. We're into the 36th over. Zampa in again. Kohli's gone for the big one. Has he got enough on this one? I'm not sure he has. It could be trouble for the India captain. It's no trouble at all because it's 5 rows back in the stand. It didn't seem to have hit it as well as some of the others that he's got hold of, but that has gone all the way. It was really a slog sweep. It's gone straight and it's 6 runs. I look like it had gone more or less straight up. It must have caught the
I
wind.
agree with you. I
Caught the wind.
I thought that was trouble for him, but
He's got his 60 average then.
Yep, he has indeed. This is a flat long hop, really, in the end, which he only just manages to get hold of it. And even now, after 111
He's
runs,
annoyed with himself.
he's angry with himself for not hitting a long hop for 6. That is the measure of the pressure that he puts on himself.
But we were saying earlier when you were in the green room, he doesn't actually hit as a percentage that many 6s, largely because he doesn't need to. He doesn't need to take that risk.
No, you're absolutely right. Zampa into Shankar. Going to be stumped, isn't he? No, he just managed to keep one of his long legs back in the crease. It looked like he'd given that up for Christmas, really, because he went for the big drive. I was sure he must have dragged his back foot out, but not. He hadn't. He'd kept that completely
section
still.
of his leg from his knee to his foot must be really long.
I think he is. I think he is quite a long-leggedy beastie. Not as long-leggedy as the. Have you seen about the luminous tarantula?
You said about that.
He's got
earlier,
luminous blue legs. Well, I suppose you could say most of the Indians are playing
Got
out their luminous blue legs.
I don't know much about luminous tarantulas. I mean, this is a gap in my education.
I do admit that it is a sort of
specialist subject.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I always like to bring on specialist subjects that I've heard on the radio in the morning. Now it's he found an edge as he goes back to force that one, and it's almost as if Manny wants Australia to lose. I can't imagine why. It's 4 runs to Shankar.
1 2 4 4 2 1. My name is Lakhan. My name is Lakhan.
Do you ever get to the point where, like, a team that you don't like or didn't like starts beating a team that you don't like so often that you actually begin to like the team you didn't like?
That can happen, but not in this case.
Okay. Zampa flat again, down the leg side, helped on its way, fine. I think it's only going to be one this time. I'm not even sure whether that was a leg bye. It is a leg bye, as signalled by the umpire now. It's the end of the 36th over. 9, 13, 14 runs in all coming off that over. India going along very nicely.
Yeah. No, whenever there are any just hints of sympathy coming in towards Australian cricket and cricketers, I just go back to the years of pain between 89 and 2005, and suddenly all those thoughts of sympathy are defenestrated, Hendo.
But you see, you could argue that with the West Indies, couldn't you? We struggled so often against the West Indies in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, but they didn't.
70s even.
Yeah, they didn't have so many hateful characters in their side.
That's true. Yes,
they were awesome characters.
They were
you couldn't legendary.
I mean, you couldn't not love people like Gordon Greenwich. I mean, I just thought he was
Roy Fredericks.
Indeed. I mean, the list goes on and on. You know, the first Test series I ever remember was West Indies 1966, and I mean, they were just. I just fell in love with the game because I thought that these people are just brilliant.
They were. Who was? Well, Sobers, obviously.
Sobers, Kanhai,
Calicharan, was that just before?
No, it was before Calicharan.
Yeah.
Hall, Griffiths.
Oh God, yes, Hall and Griffiths. Never saw them play myself.
I'm just going to jingle the bowler.
Thank you.
Paceman Pat, and his baggy green cap. Early in the morning, just before the warm-up, he has to pull out with a dodgy back.
Patrick Carman!
Hopefully not so much now. Not so much now. He did miss the best part of 6 seasons, but there you go. That's dabbed down to third man by Shankar, bringing Kohli back onto strike. That's what we want to see. We're just loving this from Kohli. Another exhibition of his utter greatness.
Yeah.
Really is phenomenal.
He just keeps going, doesn't he?
And how does he retain the appetite? That's what's so amazing.
And in all formats.
And in all formats.
I mean, he's which is great to see.
He must have energy, boundless energy. He really must. He's clipped this away, although it kept quite low. He's going to be in trouble though. Is he? No. I think the throw went to the wrong end in the final analysis from deep square leg. It was Jai Richardson coming in.
They're trying to get Kohli out. That's why.
Well, yes.
But I mean, even there, I mean, you know, that's not a bad ball, and he's just gone across his stumps. He didn't want to miss it, but he didn't.
No,
it's off the face of. It's a bit. I mean, remember Viv Richards batting? You keep on thinking, oh, he's going to be out LBW, and every time the ball whistled past between mid wicket and mid on for 4 along the deck. I mean, they're that good. They don't miss it.
Cummins bowls a short ball. It's pulled powerfully by Kohli into the ground and out to deep square leg. They take a single.
There's another player you can't hate, despite the swagger.
Richard. I would have paid money. I mean, in fact, I did pay money to just watch him get a match ticket and watch him walk to the wicket.
Yeah,
that was worth
just the
my
swagger
ticket
itself.
Oh, I love that, and the punch of the bat, and the fact that he refused ever to wear a helmet. I mean, genius,
amazing.
Yep. Somerset man.
And he was 67 the other day, wasn't he?
He was yesterday, I think.
Yeah, yes.
No, day before.
7th it was, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you send him a card then?
I should have done. I've got his email address. Cummins in, bowls, onto the back foot goes Shankar, defends into the covers. In comes Finch quickly to prevent the single.
He's probably weeping that you haven't sent him.
Well, when I say I've got his email address, I've got his PR's email address. But
the other thing I think is amazing about Kohli is that, and all great players have this, is his ability to go up and down the gears almost at will.
Yep.
And he
understands the game so well. That's why.
And he also understands his game.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Well,
and like Dhoni does as well.
Indeed.
209 for 5 is the score. Cummins is in to Shankar. Oh, he gets a bit lucky there as he plays out on the offside without much foot movement. He gets an inside edge down to fine leg for a single. 210 for 5. 1 ball remaining in the 37th over. Cummins has 2 for 30s. A ball short of completing his 6th over. But all eyes are on Virat Kohli. What a record he's got. He's actually underperforming against Australia. He's only got an average of 57 against Australia.
That's rubbish.
That's rubbish. Yeah. Absolute nonsense. Anyway, here comes Cummins to finish up. And he's past the umpire, bowls, and he just opens the face and allows the ball to glide down to third man. And He's kept the strike again. Very clever from Kohli. 115 to him, 211 for 5.
Doesn't even look tired.
No.
It does. But that's the other thing I admire about him as well, because when he was being in the vanguard of the movement in Indian cricket, and he only had to go back half a generation, and they were unfit. They didn't bother fielding, and he's just defenestrated that whole concept. He said, no, I'm going to be the fittest guy in world of cricket, or attempt to be. He sets the standards, and he's dragged the rest of the Indian team with him.
Yep.
And got them fit and said, no, we're going to fully embrace this, because this is part of the game. We're going to set the standards in fielding on the and look, they were light years behind the likes of South Africa, New Zealand, England, Australia, whatever, in the fielding department, and he's turned that round in a matter of a couple of years.
Zampa bowls, and he drives to the left of extra cover, but to the right of the man at deep cover. He's found the gap again beautifully. 4 more runs to the great man himself.
They are 2 alone, they are 3 together, they are 4 for each other.
What amazes me, he reminds me of the great tennis players, actually, Kohli, in his appetite for runs. This is short, it's rubbish, it's pulled, it's 4 more, 123 to Kohli.
2 + 2 is a man.
You ask things like what keeps Federer coming back, what keeps Nadal, what keeps Djokovic, especially after a really bad time.
Yeah. Murray's saying he wants to come back now.
Well, I'd be surprised if that happens, to be honest. But
I thought we were talking about great tennis players.
Oh yeah, good point. Fair enough. Oh, that's harsh. Oh, he's been bowled, has he? Yes, he's been bowled. Finally, we found a weak spot. It was a full ball on leg stump. He maybe was just trying a little bit too hard to whip that away through square leg. He's played over the top of it. Adam Zampa has a 3rd wicket, and India now may struggle to get to this total. They're at 219 for 6. They need 94, 95 more from 75 balls, but their main man, after a fantastic knock, he's hitting himself, he's punching himself, he's beating himself up as he goes out. He's very annoyed. It's been done leg stump, and he's on his way for 123. And I think the other thing we have to point out is that is the 5th time, I think, in 11 innings that Zampa has got Kohli. He's his bunny, I tell you.
You clearly.
This is absolute bunny.
But
as a to get 123 beforehand, it always helps, doesn't it?
I was going to say, it's a funny kind of bunny.
Funny bunny, yes.
Funny bunny.
Any tweets, by the way? Or
Absolutely not.
Absolutely. Where are you?
I'd just like to thank all our listeners for not tweeting in during it was 40 minutes since. Well, thank you so much. They realise my utter ineptitude. So bless you all.
And the Bears coming in to see whether there has been some sort of technical malfunction, not only with Manny's brain, but with the equipment. Oh, there's loads coming in. Manny has just been ignored. That's just typical Manny, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have to go back about 500 minutes.
Years.
Yes, indeed.
You better say a couple.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, just grab
I'll just mention
random
names. Messi James, Verena Akita, Nitin Bajaj, thank you, and apologies for complete idiocy on my part.
Thank you for all your great efforts that went unheralded.
Unnoticed.
Ravi Jadeja comes to the crease, and he's taking guard. Left-hander, of course. 219 for 6. You've got to be a little careful here.
I was too busy laughing at Manny and forgot that I needed to do a jingle, so here he is.
Full toss on leg stump is worked towards deep mid-wicket. I think they can come back for a second. Throw was a little bit off balance, so was never going to get it in accurately or quickly enough, so they do get 2. Ravi Jadeja is off the mark straight away. Yeah, he's just hit all over the top of that, hasn't he? Kohli maybe just getting... Can we say maybe he got a little carried away himself?
I think he did.
This is played back to Zampa by Jadeja.
I mean, just oddly enough, we're talking about great shape he normally keeps. There, he just lost his shape a bit. He was trying to hit that through mid-wicket rather than mid-on. Lost his shape, and as a result, missed it.
Zampa in bowls a flat one, which has worked square leg. There is no run. I sometimes think this about the greatest players as well, is that they're often almost so good, or they're so dominant, that they have to try and find something a little bit different to do to entertain themselves. And I think he was there in a way.
No, I think that's true. Apologies to all of the tweeters. I think this probably sums it up from messages. He says there are great tweet readers, there are tested tweet readers, there are rubbish tweet readers, and then there's Manny. He can't even find the fucking tweets. Well, there we are. I don't know. It sums it up rather nicely. Thank you, Messi.
I think so. Yes, well, you know, we do have certain technological challenges amongst some of the elder members of this team. I can't claim to be much better myself. Anyway, it's 221 for 6. Shankar has 15, Jadeja has 2, and it's all for India to do. 12 overs remaining. 94 is it required now? I think.
Any tweets, Manny?
Yeah, there are a couple more. I'll go.
Here comes Cummins to bowl to Shankar, and it's up to him now to steer India home. He goes onto the back foot, plays that quite nicely out through backward point for a single. 2-2-2 for 6.
Jeff Perkins is with us, and Mog in a rather more bitter attack than Messi says Manny does some catch up and still failed to mention me. It's not all about you, mate. I'm sticking with the block theory.
Yeah, it is pretty much about Mog. I mean, we have to treat him with special kid gloves because he does so much for us. He's so lovely. He's wonderful.
We love Mog.
We love Mog, so sod you, Manny. No, fair point. Right, it's Jadeja on 2 to face. Cummins, 2 for 32. He's into his 7th over. Steaming up to the wicket. Here he comes past the umpire. Bowls onto the back foot goes Jadeja, looking to drop it down to third man. Gets it too square. Maxwell Fields in that position where he can be so dangerous. And there is no run. Cummins 2 for 32. Richardson 1 for 24. Stoinis none for 39. Lyon none for 41 from 8. Zampa 3 for 56 from 8. Maxwell 4 overs, no maidens, none for 20. But of course he did have Kohli dropped on 98 by the keeper Alex Carey, and so he has a right to be quite upset about that. Not every day that you get Virat Kohli out. Pushed towards mid-wicket, Finch racing across to field.
No, Zampa's got Dhoni and Kohli, isn't he?
Dhoni and Kohli for Zampa, yes. Well, that's what a great couple to have on your CV, really, in one game. Tremendous stuff. 222 for 6. We're halfway through the 39th over. We'll have a change after 40 overs. We will have a competent tweet reader, hopefully, coming into the chair.
Or one who's not vaguely alive.
Yes, vaguely. Here comes Cummins, bowls full. Had to wait for that. Was it a slower ball? Pushed it to mid-off. Jadeja, no run. 130k, so not particularly, not a noticeably slower ball. Perhaps a little down on the pace that he has been. Cummins. I don't think it was deliberate. Maybe just didn't get everything right. Maybe just a little bit tired. Yeah, absolutely.
Mog is with us again. Too effing late, says Henderson. I'm off to listen to some Lovecraft audiobooks, although all plaudits from Annie humbly accepted.
Oh. I'm sorry,
Thanks,
I did my best for you, Mog. Here comes Cummins into Jadeja. Jadeja looks for the chop down to third man. Is beaten by this one, taken by Carey just in front of his chin. And there is no run. And even now, Kohli can't relax, can he? He's sort of patrolling around at the back of the dressing room, thinking there must be something that he can have an influence upon.
Do you think he ever sleeps?
I'd be very surprised.
I don't think he does.
But how can you be so good if you never
He's
sleep?
good through the covers, though.
He's very good through the covers, not under the covers.
Calm down.
Doesn't get wrapped up in the covers. But he's it is International Women's Day, you know, today.
Yeah, you can't say calm down, dear.
Yes, exactly.
No, that would have been very 70s.
That's very Michael Winnerish.
Only if you patted me on the bottom as you did it.
Steered down to a third man by Jadeja. He does finally get a run, but it's a bit late in the day, a bit late in the over. That was 146 kph from Cummins, so that shows you what he can get up to. It's the end of the over.
A couple more tweets. Lou Brittensack, good morning. 15th attempt from California, Eureka.
Hey, Eureka again.
15th attempt, did you say?
Yeah.
To get a tweet read.
Possibly so, or maybe to listen to us. Who knows?
Oh, well, very good. Very welcome.
We'll just leave it hanging there. 15th attempt at whatever you will.
Okay.
The Beijing Ducks, cheers, going right to the wire this one. And Jeff Perkins, there's Manny a slip. Twix the tweet and twat, says Jeff. Well, fair enough.
Hi, John.
John Stone is off to manage his pub, and looking resplendent in a particularly attractive duffel coat and hat combo. He tried a sweep there, and that's worth a shout from Zampa, as Jadeja played that, but the umpire's not interested. Australia don't have a review, so they can't ask anyway. It is a leg by.
Outside leg peg again. I
Do you think so?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Let's have another look at this one. Yeah, I think you're right. Just outside leg. Well read, Manny. Very well read. He may not be very good on the tweets.
Yeah, but he can see when it's outside.
I've got other qualities.
I've
got other qualities. Can't remember what they are.
Review. Zampa, is he into his last over, or has he got one more after this? I can't remember.
One
now.
more to go
One more
after
this. He's in bowling to Shagger. Hasn't had much of the strike recently. He pushes into the offside. They'll take an agreed single, and the score moves on to 225 for 6. We'll have a change at the end of the over. We'll have Tony and the Bear will be coming back, and you two can fight over who wants to do the next session. I can understand what the tweeters might be feeling in terms of who they might want.
I get me coat then.
Here comes Zampa again. Oh, it's a big full toss, which he fails to put away. And hits. Oh, well, that's almost terrible cricket from Australia, because having saved that run, Carey again spilled the throw into the wickets. And just for a moment, I thought they were going to get an overthrow. But the man at fine leg was up quickly to prevent that. And Zampa continues right arm over to the left-handed Ravi Jadeja. He's in, and Jadeja goes back. That turns quite a long way, and possibly jumped on him a little bit. He seemed surprised. The ball was steered straight to mid-wicket, and again there was no run. But a nice delivery that from. It's a little bit of drift, and then got it to turn back.
Certainly better than the full toss.
Certainly better than the full toss. Yep. Here he is once more. Ooh, now that looked like the flipper, didn't it? Something different in the action there for sure, but it's cut backward to square. They're going to get one. They'll probably come back for a second. Hanscom is the man doing the fielding. 227 for 6. Calling the Bear and Tony Bishop 1. All required to come into the studio to take over commentating duties.
Messages suggest that Kelly can't afford to sleep, as most of Melbourne has it in for him.
Ah, right. Yeah. Oh, that's a terrible shot across the line. Now that, I thought, was a very good shout.
That's a better
shout. They have no review.
They have no reviews, and the umpire has given that not out. That was a very strange shot. It was a horrible shot, a paddle sweep right across the line. And, well, I'm amazed. I'd see the review of that and the replay indeed. Tony Bishop 1 is coming in to take over your tweets. The Bear will take over on ball
Manny's
by ball.
been sacked.
Manny has been sacked. Will be chased out of the building. And staying alongside the Bear on jingles will be Annie Chave.
Yes, I'm still here, and it's nice to see. I'm still here, but I didn't get paid to be still here. You didn't let me stay the whole day, luckily.
Yeah, they didn't make you stay the whole day.
No.
You had to cut the stints off.
I'm here for the T20 later as well.
You get a 4-hour break now, no?
Was it 4 hours?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I might go
it's
lie
3
down.
o'clock now. There's a bed.
Well, I think I might go back.
Annie, how far? So I'm going back to about 1953, aren't I, on tweets?
I think so.
From what I understand from Manny's recent coverage. Okay.
I can let you know if.
Did Lou Britton Sachs good morning from 15th attempt from California? Eureka.
Yeah. He's read that one.
So we done. Did we do Jeff Perkins? There's Manny a slip twixt tweet and twat.
Cummins
that was
is
worth
in.
doing it again.
Okay.
And it's guided down to third man. Who's that down there? Zampa, I thought so. It's a single. It's Australia's now, isn't it? This game.
Well, Jadeja is one of those cricketers you
Oh,
can't.
that was out. That last
Yes.
shout that was given not out.
Yeah, well.
With no review left. Yeah,
They were foolish to review that last one. Weren't
they
So,
were. I think Maxwell was just pissed off that Carey had dropped Kohli, didn't
That's right.
It was a review in anger. It's never
It was a very silly one.
It was indeed. Cummins is in. It's guided down to Gully.
As I was saying, Jadeja, I don't think you can ever dismiss him as a
You
cricketer.
can't dismiss him. I've not seen him really do much in an ODI ever.
No.
That's the thing.
But
I mean,
he
you've
has
still
that
got the
passion.
guy. You've still got Vijay at the other end.
Yep.
He's back pretty well every time we've seen him. Certainly accelerate. I mean, he's just got to take it into, you know, if you need 27 off the last, you'd be lucky. They get down to 27 off the last 3, which is kind of doable.
Yeah.
It's a few big hits, isn't it? You know.
But I think you're right. I think it is Australia's game, but
It's played out to deep square leg where there's a single. That's it. You take it deep enough, you get it within. This is it. You know, if you've got 12 balls and you've got to get 24 or something.
Yeah.
You've got a chance.
Yeah,
and it's an outside chance, but you know.
Who's there to come back to bowl the death then?
Well, Cummins has got 2 left after this.
Yep.
I presume they'll keep him. I presume Jai Richardson's got a few, hasn't he? That's I think he's running his fingers over that. It's jagged back into the batsman from just short of a length, and Shankar can't get away.
Yeah. Just trying to think if there's anyone they're gonna.
Stoinis will have a few, I think. He's not bad, death bowler.
What's Maxwell like?
I don't think Maxwell's a death bowler. He'd probably enjoy it though. I think most spinners would.
Okay. Well,
yeah. They got a few options.
It's not dead and buried game at all.
No. Almost, but not quite. That's another slow ball. It's guided down behind square again.
Did we mention Abhishek?
For a single?
Greetings, you lovely folks.
Nope.
Oh, right. I'll start there then. I'm sorry if I've missed anyone. Abhishek says, greetings, you lovely folks. I'm sorry I haven't been listening in because capitalism sucks. How have you all been?
Nice to hear
good.
from you. We've been very good.
I thought Cody was going to take it home. I did think it was going to be Dhoni Day earlier, didn't I?
You did, and then it was Kohli Day.
Then it was Cody Day, and now it's like Australia Day.
Yeah. Not one of those.
Yeah, exactly. I don't need that. Cummins is in, and inside edge from Jadeja goes out towards long leg, and they'll get a single as Carey goes across to collect it.
Jeff and
231,
Mog,
6 odd 41.
and indeed us seem to be in an ongoing conversation, so tell me if this means anything. Are they gathering around his fortress with pitchforks and torches again? Who told you that? Was it Kevin or Jenny? Replied Mog. Is that anything we know about?
No, we probably missed it all because
plot of neighbours or something.
Manny didn't say a tweet for 40 minutes, did we? So we probably missed out on what the conversation actually
Well, that's why I didn't know where to start. He just handed me the computer and sort of generally waved his hand at it. Which, yes, I know I'm supposed to look at the computer. It was more specifically on the screen, where should I start, was really what I was after, but there we go.
Yeah.
So, not Fred, says Tony. Go back as far as tweets about wicketkeeper Gary Wilson. Thank you, Fred, for a wonderful piece of advice.
Well, Zampa's going to continue. Required run rate is now up over 9.22, and they're going along at 5.63. Just got to keep going and hope for some luck at the end, really. You can imagine that VJ is the man to steer it home. But Admiral to
boundary fielding there?
if he's going to do it. Yeah. And they're taking their time to move the field about. There's a man the 45 at third man as backward point. There's a forward cover. As Jade just slaps that back past the bowler. Didn't particularly time it very well. Nearly got a hand on it, Zampa. Gets a single. And there's men in the deep backward square leg, probably out at cow, long on, long off. And there's a man out deep cover.
I think we've got 4 on the boundary line.
Yeah, is it 4 you're out? I don't know what it
there's
is.
2 the
So
other
there's a
end.
man gone out at deep point. Sorry, no, it's deep square leg because VJ's on his right hand. Deep square leg, cow, long on, long off, deep cover. They're the 5 out. There's only allowed 5 out. There's a man at third man up inside the ring. There's a man at point and cover inside. And I imagine there's a mid wicket there as well. No, there isn't a mid wicket. Driven back down the ground by Shankar, VJ. And they do come back for 2. That little misfield down there allows them to scoop back for 2. That's good running. 21 off 23.
Yeah, India have gone out to 8-1 now. Australia 14-1 on.
Yeah, I know. That's really annoying. I could have hedged out 15-8, 8-15 even. But I thought I'd be greedy and let it try and get it up to evens. And then bloody Kohli got
Greed,
out.
you see, that's the
yeah,
problem.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Then Kohli, and I could have hedged out and made a 5er, guaranteed 5er. But I didn't. So there's no good crying over spilt milk,
No.
No, sorry, I could have guaranteed that I wouldn't lose. I wouldn't have made any money if Australia won. That's played out into mid-wicket, and there is
How
no
much have
run.
you lost today?
Only a fiver.
Oh.
In fact, I haven't lost anything.
And think of the entertainment you've had.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I won my first innings bet, which was Australia on the
India.
320, and then I
Mhm.
just lumped that straight back on and lost it on India to win.
You put all your coins back in.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's it. But I haven't gone any further. Gamble aware.
Gamble
Jadeja
responsibly.
slaps that straight back down. He can't beat the man coming around. It's pretty wide. It's Maxwell down there. He's at wide long on. But he scampers about and stops that from going forward. The greatest of time shots by Jadeja. He's got that straight out of the middle at a race down there like a tracer bonnet. Vijay will face up. This is Zampa's last over. He's got 2 balls left. 2-3-6 for 6. What's making you chuckle after this ball? Zampa tosses that one out.
Oh.
Over, that's inside out. Over the top. Is there anyone out there? There is not anyone out there. It's gone to extra cover. Beautiful shot. Hit the space to Shankar, and he takes 4 runs.
I'll get on to that one.
You gotta have fun, buddy. You gotta have fun to be more.
It may come back in my favour though, if India
Never
takes
knew.
deep enough.
Yeah?
If they take it down to the last 2 overs, I might be able to get 2 to 1.
I'm on the edge of my seat
Yeah.
with anticipation.
Shut up. Shove down the leg side. That'll be a wide. As it comes off the pads of Caring, goes to a short third man. They won't bother running.
Funny old shot as well, wasn't it? Because he was looking
He was
to
looking to shovel it,
run
wasn't
it
he?
down
Yeah.
leg, and it ended up sort of. I'm not quite sure what happened, but
No, it hit the pads.
That's not where it went.
It hit Carey's pads. That's why. It went off the third man.
Oh, is that what caused
Yeah.
it? Oh.
Ah.
Zampa. It's a little bit short. Goes deep in his crease, Shankar, and just pops it out to deep, wide mid wicket, long on, whatever you want to call it. It's in between the two, dead. Cow, really, it should be. In my day, that would be cow corner, but now it's wide long on or wide mid wicket, straight mid wicket, deep. Who knows? So many different variations on positions, but you know what I mean. It was a
So
single.
many variations on positions, Bear. Zach Kearns has said
Positive Kama Sutra.
Between the covers.
Zach.
Yeah, exactly.
Between the covers, under the covers, who knows? On top of the covers, over the covers, bent out
Okay,
the window.
Tony, all right.
Zach Kearns is said, in your guys' opinion, what bowling lineup do the Aussies take to England for the World Cup? We'll come back to that because that's a really interesting question.
Well,
or do you want to answer it now?
Oh, no, we'll come back to it.
Yeah. Messi Jers has already replied. Cummins, Jai Richardson, Stark, Zampa, Stoinis and Ty. We'll wait for Gary to bowl a couple.
Ah, yes, cool. He's got 2 left as well. So who's got some left? Maxwell's got 6 left. Stoinis has got 4. Richardson's got 4. So they've got plenty of options here, haven't they? Having bowled Zampa out. After this ball. He's around the wicket, it's Gary. It's going to be a wide down the leg side.
Here's his jingle.
In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight.
You need the Wumbleway. Yeah, exactly. Clipped into the leg side by Shankar. Out towards deep square leg. They think about 2 and they don't bother. Jadeja will be on strike. Jadeja's he's a problem here. He's got 9 off 18. He needs to up his run rate, but he doesn't need to get out at the same time. So I think he should be the one just trying to get a single until he feels confident enough to start striking big hits. He hasn't really timed
Yeah, he's not
that
timing
much.
the ball very
no,
well, is he?
he's
No.
not.
What about Big Billy Stanley? Thinking about the.
Is
he in the frame for the Aussies? What's the
If he's
latest
not
there?
injured, I think he's another. Hasn't he done?
He might be
something
injured, isn't it?
Terribly bad.
I think he is injured, yeah.
Ah, okay.
I think he had stress fracture of the back or something.
Something like that.
It was, wasn't it?
Well, he is huge, isn't he?
Yeah, he
I
is.
think-
He's another willowy one. It's not built his body up enough yet. Played out to long on, but with so little pace that they managed to get back for 2. That's good running by Jadeja and Shankar.
Easy for you to say.
Sorry, I was just chuckling at a
Another
number of-
2?
Yeah, no.
Come on in.
Well, I
Spread
can't
out.
because Gary gets to his overs too quick. So
Well,
you
he's
miss
talking.
out.
He's not. He's talking
having a
about
chat.
field
I'll slip the sequence in between balls.
Okay.
Get over yourself. Get over, dear. It's innuendo Friday.
well, it's Friday, exactly. It's the weekend's coming.
Ooh, for an hour.
It would be English if we couldn't have a bloody innuendo, would we? Clipped into the leg side. Gary has to chase after his own bowling.
That's what I love about cricket.
Exactly.
Abhishek had said, Tony and Bear, I have missed your voices so much. How have you guys been? Jeff Perkins, though, had replied, Psst, slip in something kind for Annie. She's feeling very third spear carrier to the right from Tony's Hamlet at the moment. And just the mention of slip in something kind for Annie you see now is just
smashed into the leg side. That's a good shot. Is he going to make it? He is going to make it. Vijay Shankar hoiks that over, basically out to cow corner, and deep mid wicket can't get around. I mean, it wasn't going at great pace, but it's quick enough over the infield. 4 runs.
2, 3, 4.
Could make himself a hero here, couldn't he?
Replay, yes. Abhishek had, in his defence, had said, I did, as in slip in something kind. I did, but it was during the era of Manny.
Defended back up the track, and there is no run.
At least you tried.
Yeah.
I missed out Renikita as well because it would have just interrupted that particular
flow
of conversation. I will, don't panic.
All right. I'm never panicking.
No, you don't.
Really
it's not in your DNA, is it?
It's not in my DNA. Another hoik out there. Is that square enough, though? Oh, did he catch that?
Yep.
He did.
I think he did.
What a catch.
That is a great catch. Inches off the ground. Jai Richardson's out cow corner. VJ's tried to repeat the shot, but it's a bit just too square this time. Or straight, squarer. And he stood his ground rather than coming in, Jai Richardson. I thought he was going to misjudge it for a second there, and he caught it just inches off the ground. And VJ has to go.
You silly little boy, what on earth were you playing at?
Good catch. Good catch. Throws his head in the air.
He needed to stay. He
did.
He did.
32 off 30 is a pretty good innings.
Is that Jimmy Edwards, that, you silly little boy?
I have no idea.
Well, I think it might be Jimmy Edwards. I'm sure someone of similar age and vintage as me might well know. Renikita had said, Kohli probably sleeps perfectly too, with his eyes open to intimidate any dreams that might bother him. That was the one that we missed there. Abhishek wanted to know, did Nick Martin 909 talk up TWBS during his stints? I don't know.
TWBS, what's TWBS?
Don't know. Good question.
TWBS.
We're slightly missing out on something here, Abhishek. Just let us know. Jeff Perkins said the error of Manny, did you say? It's quite funny. Abhishek replied, to err is Manny, to forgive. Divine.
Everyone's too smart. Oh no, is it?
And Abhishek replied about Billy, no, Big Billy's not in the frame, he's too big for the frame.
Well, new over starts. It's Jai Richardson, I think, is bowling the next over. I don't think that's Cummins, is it? It should be Jai Richardson. He's got 4 left.
Who's the new batsman?
The new batsman will be Kuldeep Yadav, I think.
Oh, apparently it's Stephen Fry reading an audio book.
Huh?
Not Jimmy Edwards.
Oh, right. Ah, okay, you silly little boy.
You silly little boy.
And it is Jai Richardson. Ooh.
Well,
Kuldeep hangs his bat outside his off stump. Gets an inside edge, goes square on the leg side. No run.
And thank you to Mia Katie for that.
That Kuldeep was science fiction until I saw him today. Now that your death is my addiction, I've thrown all that rat junk away.
I'd imagine that Australia are about 20 to 1 on now, aren't they? Can't see India winning it from here. Jai Richardson is in, fades in a little bit to Jadeja, who can't beat the man at backward point, and there is no run.
I'm just going to jingle Jai. Jingle Jai.
He loves to bowl, loves to bowl, loves to bowl. He spells his first name weird, you know, Jhye.
Well, the series will go to 2-1.
Yep.
which makes it interesting. Keeps it going to the next one.
Well, yep.
It does. Makes Sunday interesting.
It does make Sunday
Makes
interesting.
Sunday very interesting.
Jai Richardson is in, and today just knocks down the offside. Can't beat the infield, and it's Kuldeep facing. Sorry, it's not Jadeja, and that run rate will be climbing quite
up
quickly
to nearly 10 now.
Up to nearly 10.
Yeah. Wow.
And they've only got 3 wickets left, and it's Shami and Jasper, which is basically just Shami.
Yeah. Bumrah's got a couple of decent scores, hasn't he?
No,
in his time.
he might have got a few inside edges that went down to a fine leg boundary for 4 in an innings in a row, but no, he's pretty useless. He is a genuine bunny. Here's Jasper.
Not a funny bunny.
No, Kuldeep. Oh, doesn't like that. Short by Richardson. Nowhere near it was Kuldeep. Raced past his helmet and threw at the keeper, and there's no run.
Oh yes, he has a highest score in ODIs of 10 not out. So you're absolutely right.
Yeah, and I think 2 of those.
40. That's in 46 attempts as well.
Exactly.
Mind you, he may not
have batted.
He may not have got to bat in many of those. Let's be fair.
Well, how many innings though? I'll tell you.
Well, I know.
47 innings.
I'll tell you in just a second.
Come on, Tony.
Hang on.
Jai Richardson up to the crease, swatted by Kuldeep with not much power out into the deep on the leg side. There's plenty of men out there, and there's 1 run.
Well, it says something about India's domination of the format. Out of 46 matches, he has 7 innings.
7 innings.
7 innings.
I think his previous high score was 3.
With 10 not out, and a mind-numbing average of 2.2.
There you go.
From a batting perspective.
So he's usually out, that suggests.
Yeah. Oh, yes, true enough. Anyway, Messi Jez had said... I've lost it. Where did it go? It's jumped down. I need my 2 fingers to work their magic.
Scroll.
Hold on. Yeah, we go. I knew. I threw that in for Annie's benefit just to see if the giggle would be forthcoming. Needless to say, it was. Messi Jez says at Gorilla Cricket, at Tony Bishop demonstrates his mastery of unintended innuendo with "I'll slip a sequence in between balls." Indeed.
That bubbly is for this evening.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's in
You're
the fridge.
here tonight, aren't you, Tony?
I am driving, sadly, but I'll be with you in spirit.
We could have a couple now and you'll sober up. That's guided by... I didn't see who guided that. I presume it was actually... it'll be Kuldeep, wouldn't it? Because he got a single at the end of the last over. He guides that down to 3rd man, gets himself a 4. Well done, sir. Moves on to 5. That was a 4. Well done, sir.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm tired now.
I know. We do this all the time, you know, Annie.
Well, I don't, so I'm not
there you
adjusted.
go. That's what I mean. That's played up to long on. And it's a single.
You need the Caribbean sun streaming into your face, don't you? That's what you need.
Yes, I do.
It's not quite the same for sort of dingy window in Sydenham.
It really isn't.
No.
Dan Jocelyn says, have I got time? No, he hasn't. He didn't say that. I'm saying that. I'm just wondering because Nathan Lyon whips through him so quick. 56 off 34, but it's the wicket.
It's the
lost,
wicket,
isn't it? Yeah.
You need someone who can hit 6s. There's an appeal from understand. I thought it came off the face of the bat. So Jay faced it up to the line. There's no run. That's what I mean. They got a chance that they take it to sort of 20, late 20s off at 12, maybe. A couple of lucky strikes.
They've got to really go some though, haven't they?
Well, they have. Well, to get down to 27 off at 12 is doable, isn't it? As that's played out to mid-on, there's no run. I mean, that would require... So if I say 27 off 12, they go to what, 28 off the next 20 balls. That's doable. I mean,
well,
even...
it's definitely doable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just cut the 4s and a lot of singles. 3 4s and every other ball averaging a single. So it's 3 4s and pretty much 3 overs. Let's do it. Well, yeah. Froze just as it beat the outside edge of a groping Kuldeep.
They need to
and then
target
goes
a
down
bowler
to,
though, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And goes down to short 3rd man who's inside the circle, who's on a 45, and there is no run.
Ravi Jadeja has a top score of 87 in ODIs.
He can certainly biff it.
Which he got versus in a defeat of England, didn't he?
Swept hard. An aerial out to deep backward square leg by Kuldeep. He'll only go a single with the man out there.
And that is the over. Dan Jocelyn had said, the tweets went away and the game tipped in Australia's favour. I think this shows that you can never stop doing this. You must keep up your eternal vigil or darkness shall prevail.
Well, there's that too.
Oh, so it's our fault.
Australia.
Well, it's Manny's fault.
It's Manny's fault. Blame it on Manny. Australian darkness. It's always a horrible darkness.
TWBS was that's what Bancroft said, apparently.
Oh, right.
So now we know. Thank you. Kunai Talani. Cantankerous C says maybe you should preempt a few dozen tweets for when the other two come back on and don't bother to read any. That's a good idea.
Slower ball.
I think this is
by
it, though,
Richardson.
isn't
Play behind square. It's fielded by Kawaja at backward point, and there's no run.
Messi Jazz, who always knows about these sort of things, says, "You silly little boy," was actually from the Jennings books. Yes, probably it was, which Stephen Fry read as an audio book. Okay.
Oh.
Which Jimmy Edwards character am I thinking of then, though? Schoolmaster. I can picture him as a schoolmaster, big bushy moustache, and he always used to say things like that, Messers. But what am I thinking of?
Before my time. Another slower ball, this time outside the off stump of Kuldeep, and the problem is that when you get down this low in the order, they're not very good at
Was this black and white television?
Yes, it was actually, Annie, yes.
Improvising their shots and...
I'll look it up. I'll find it at an appropriate moment. Abhishek says, 2 fingers to work their magic. That's what Warney said in those texts. And to Gatting. Different conversations, of course.
Fantastic.
She's nice. I like that.
Thrown up wide of the off stump. This time Kuldeep does reach it, but he can only bunt it out to a deep cover. I think it's Zampa out there sweeping on the boundary, and it'll just be the single.
Christ B says, oh no, sorry, the substitute Messiah. No, Chris TB says, due to the omission of Amla, Kohli has 11 more ODI hundreds than the entire South African ODI squad combined. Wow.
God. Wow, that is very impressive.
Abhishek says Keaton Jennings' book would suit him all right.
Short, smashed into the offside, but can't beat Stoinis, I think is that cover. Straightish cover, and
he's getting frustrated.
He is getting frustrated, but that's the problem, isn't it? His field is spread. It's difficult to actually get boundaries unless you want to go over the top, or you've got rubbery wrists who can, or
rubbery wrists,
or be able to shove
like Butler.
Yeah, exactly, that kind of thing. Well, you can get down and do the strange.
Can we get Roy Hodgson in as a guest to talk about
that? No, even then he can't beat the field. It's short and down the leg side and pulled by Jadeja, but straight to the man at long leg, and they can only get a single.
You're not allowed to take the piss out of people's speech impediment.
Withdrew it very quickly.
Need to get a boundary.
They really need to get a boundary.
They need to get a boundary and over, at least one.
2 boundaries and over.
Well, they get 1 and over.
If they get 2 and over, they win.
If they get 2 and over, they win easy. Yeah. Another slower ball tossed up by Jai Richardson, but again they can only play it straight to the man. He's square on the boundary, and it'll only be a single. They need more than that. A couple of big sixes would be handy. Actually, what's a strange advert for Nazar. Some of these programs look quite entertaining though. I'd like to see any odd episode. 51 required of 24 balls. And Maxwell's now going to come off. 4 overs, none for 20, so he bowled pretty well earlier.
I thought they'd do him.
Jimmy Edwards, it might have been Wacko I was thinking about.
Around the wicket. To Kuldeep, who works out on the leg side. They think about 2. It's not quite there. They can only work the single.
I'm just going to jingle Maxwell.
Okay.
If I had $1 million, if I had $1 million, I'll buy you a Glenn Maxwell. Then we are no longer friends.
Indeed. As he comes around the wickets to Jadeja this time, and it slides on flat and quicker and darted in that middle stump, and he can't work it anywhere. And he fields off his own bowling, no run. I do remember Maxwell. That's slogged into the leg side. Is anyone out there? There isn't anyone out there. It's gone over the boundary. That's what they need. A bit of that. Give it some umpty. 6 runs.
A bit of a Jadeja 6.
That's a good shot. If you can pull a few of those out.
Well, we
have a
said
chance.
He's got it in him to be able
He
to
has
do
got
it.
it in him.
Where did he get that? Was it Trent Bridge this year?
Yeah.
Or no, 2018. That
He got his ton, didn't he?
Well, no, he didn't get a ton, but I think that's where he got 80 odd. I might have to double check that, but I think it was Trent Bridge.
Cut square to point, and there is no run. He got a ton. He got a ton in a test match recently. It wasn't his first ton, and then he got another one shortly after that. I seem to remember. Played out deep to mid wicket.
really
They're coming
good
back for 2. They are coming back for 2. Oh, and it's not particularly well taken by Carey, and they do make it back for 2.
He's not really kept particularly well that I've seen.
No.
Not when they've got.
Well, he
quite a
missed.
few
He missed
keepers.
catching. I mean, the Cody drop didn't cost much, but.
No, I got that wrong, by the way.
What's that?
Ravi Jadeja's 87 in an ODI was a 41-run defeat of England at Headingley in 2014.
There's an appeal for LBW.
So not.
Umpire has
not
nothing
a
to do with
Trent
it.
Bridge
then.
Maxwell doesn't look very happy. He's going to chat to the umpire.
But he does have 100 not out in a test match.
Yeah.
So the bear is
very
right
good
on that one.
Yeah.
Messi Jez says it's the first time I've heard Jimmy Edwards mentioned in years. I suspect it was you naughty boy. Oh yes, I think it could well have been. And I hate to say it, I think we're up to date.
What do they say in
Bring back Manny.
That army program?
Dad's Army.
Dad's Army. What does he say?
Clues in the name. That army program. Let me see. Which word have I
Look,
missed?
I'm
Oh,
fucking
Dad's.
tired,
Yeah.
all right? It's been a long day.
There was an old radio series, I think, called The Army Game. I'm going back a long time, but I had some very famous people in.
Anyway, what does he say to him? He said,
Oh, you stupid boy.
"You stupid boy."
He's talking to Pike, isn't he?
Yep.
You stupid boy.
Stupid boy.
Bet one of the best comedy lines ever, wasn't it? It was Philip Maddock as the captured German wandering around, says, "Your name is on the list. What is your name?" And and Mannering goes, "Don't tell him, Pike."
Yeah. Richardson to continue. Smash. That's out. Oh dear. That's it. Jadeja's gone.
Oh dear. Well,
Completely mistimed it. Straight to Maxwell at mid on. He takes it very coolly. Looks very cool. He's got his collars up. 273 for 8. This is a done deal. It's yet another slower ball with split fingers. Rolls his fingers across it like an off break. Jadeja was completely done with the pace of the delivery. Mistimed it straight to mid on. And the game is pretty much done. 273 for 8.
I fear you could be right. I think it's.
Yes.
You're right. They just pulled up short, haven't they?
Yeah.
315. It was when Kohli and MS were in tandem. They seemed to be making the game look so simple.
The world was their oyster then, wasn't
Well, yeah, they really did. But as soon as MS had gone,
it? He eats a good carrot though, doesn't
Yeah.
he?
we've seen that ad a few times.
Well,
I have noticed one thing with this channel. There's often a lot of ads with food in, and the food every time you look, it just looks
Yeah.
so
There's that one with a darling. That's
tasty,
wicked, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I do
no,
like a
it
good
does look
dal.
fantastic.
I don't know how to cook one properly, but I do like one. So one of those cuisines, that and Chinese. I wish I could cook both of those really well. And whenever I cook a curry, it just really doesn't taste right. I can make a hot curry. I don't mind spice, but it just doesn't taste right. So Mohammed Shami is in, and he's going to face up to Jai Richardson, who bowls it short. It's top edge though. It's going to go all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way. Yay!
Yeah.
4 runs.
I'm just going to jingle in first.
Okay.
he hit one of I'll for him later.
Next ball was just played out to cover. You don't have to for him.
I won't bother for him.
We've missed the moment, you know.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's okay.
You know.
It's fine. Next ball was just played out to cover, and there was no run. Mistimed. Shammy can hit it a long way, but whether he can get enough runs to get them over the line, I would say not so.
Chris TB says, to build on my other stat, ODI tons, Coley 41, this Aussie 11, 21.
Oi, heave though, out towards Cow, and he's done it. He's got another 4. That's 2 4s and it's over.
You gotta have fun, oh dear. You gotta have fun to get more.
What did I say? I said 27 off 2, didn't I? Or did I say 23 off 2?
You said 27 off 2.
Off 12.
Of 12, yeah.
Would be a hitter's chance, but it's 33 or 14, so I'm not that far off.
You should have bet.
Well, no, because I still think that they'll lose, but that's played out and he's out. There you go. It's all over. Shammy 4.4 out as it was a short, slow ball again into the deck, and he mistimed it, hit in front of square, aerially, straight to cover. There's no run. See you later, Manny. Manny's
well
off.
done on the tweet.
Yeah.
Manny is leaving the studio now, and we give him about half an hour to find the front door.
Yeah. Cummins was the catcher.
He'll be up again in a minute.
He'll be up again in a minute. Where did that front door go?
Yeah. And so it brings out the bunny Jasper. This won't last long.
Yes, but Kunal to Chris TB. Abhishek Chopra says, Dad's Army, that's what Bears kids called the guerrilla cricket commentators combined. Well, some of us, obviously some exceptions in this room that would not be part of that club.
Right.
Messi Jez says, the Jimmy Edwards mention has taken me through the whole history of 50s and 60s comedy, including the Glums and the Clitheroe Kid. Oh yeah, Jimmy Clitheroe. Memories. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark.
Well, Jarvis now 3 for 37. He's got a ball to get Colt Bumrah out. And, oh no, he hits it. It goes down to long leg. It's a single.
I'm just going to jingle Bumrah.
And now then, Monty Bumrah, oh, you're bowling again, aren't you? Oh, I thought as much.
And they didn't take the single. So Kuldeep has got to do it all. And it's all doable within 1 over.
Well, it is.
It's always doable unless it's more than they can get.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. What do they need now?
They need 33 off 12.
33 off 12, 2 overs. That's easy. It's just over 11 and over.
No, it's not. It's
no, it's 22.
It's
what am I saying?
It's 17 off
My
1
maths
and
is rubbish.
16
That would be
off
22,
another.
wouldn't it?
Yeah.
God, I can't add up.
It's basically a lot of 4s. There's 8 4s. 6 6s.
I think it's unlikely. The Beijing Ducks.
Yeah, it's very unlikely.
The Beijing Ducks had said, our man in India says something special will happen here. India win. They quickly followed it up with, you know our predictions are a bit hit and miss.
They have been fairly poor.
Around the wicket. I presume it's Cummins back into the attack. It is indeed. He's got 2 left. And this could be his last over, actually.
Abhishek says, Kohli gives a mic drop to send off Root. Annie did just that to Manny.
Yeah.
Annie to Manny.
Annie to Manny.
Annie to Manny. That sounds like a song. About the thing she saw. Woolly Bully. Sounds like the first line of the Woolly Bully. I think that was Ali told Annie, if I remember the lyric to that.
Woolly Bully.
The Woolly Bully. You don't know the Woolly Bully?
Rings a bell.
Very famous song.
Sorry.
Had 2 long horns and a wooden jaw.
Woolly Woolly.
Woolly Bully.
Cummins around the wicket. That's on. Yeah, that's the game. That's done. Who's catching that? Who's catching it?
Gone.
There it is. Finch, the skipper, finishes the game. India all out for 281. They win by 32 runs. Australia. It was always going to be. I mean, it was all predicated on a 190-odd partnership between Finch and Khawaja. Khawaja got on a ton. Finch was the first to go on 93. And they had a little bit of a hiccup there, but they got such a good start that even with the hiccup, they still managed to get themselves to 313. It was a pretty good finish in the end. They just lost 5 wickets for about 30 odd runs or 20 odd runs in the middle.
Still, it does make the series.
It keeps the series alive, which is good.
Yeah, yep.
And you know, I think Australia batted really well. India, you know, they'll rue the fact that Khawaja was dropped on 17 by Shikhar Dhawan. And had that gone down, obviously things would have been very different. But well, they may not have been, but who knows? But they'll feel that that's a deficit of nearly 100 runs from not getting Khawaja out there. And it makes all the difference. It allowed Australia to have a little bit of a hiccup in the middle and still accelerate a bit enough at the end to get them up over 300. Anything over 300, unless the pitch is as flat as a flat thing, you know, you've got to constantly go 50 overs at 6 and over. While Cody was there, you thought, oh, they got a chance. But as soon as he was out,
well, yeah, absolutely.
You kind of felt that it was.
Well,
probably
Jadeja
a
didn't
mischance.
really.
Jadeja didn't really get going. I think
going,
he does find it hard. I think he takes too long to get going. That's Jadeja's problem in a test match.
He tries to hit it too hard.
He tries to hit it too hard, and in a test match, he sort of, when he does get a big score, he fasts around for a bit, and then he finally gets in the groove. But
yeah,
in an ODI, you've got to kind of do it a little bit quicker, haven't you? That's the advert you're thinking of, isn't it?
That's one of them.
Yeah.
But there are a few of them.
With the tasty dial.
Yeah,
Can
the
I just
tasty
quickly
dial.
say happy birthday to Sarge the Badger? I've been asked to. So.
Oh, happy birthday
Thank
to Sarge, as in Salt and
Sarja.
Sergeant. Sarge the Badger.
Sarge the Badger, sorry.
Well, happy birthday to you. Well, it keeps the series nicely alive, though,
It does
doesn't it?
indeed.
2-1. Yeah, we're going well. Missy Jez said, thanks all, a great fun day. I won't be with you for the T20 as it starts at 4 o'clock here, at 4 a.m. here. Hopefully the Bear won't be able to improve on his current rant.
No.
Or will or won't.
I'm
Won't be able to.
I'm not in this evening.
Oh, aren't you?
No.
And
I'm not in on Sunday either, although I might drop in at some point on a Sunday.
I think
We
I'm
didn't
doing
keep
the,
up to
I'm doing
date
the
with
early
it,
but not the late on Sunday.
I'll probably pop in, because Empo's coming in, our South African.
Oh, right.
Were you here?
No.
Hopefully he's going to come in on Sunday.
Okay.
And I would quite like to come in and meet him. He seems like a good lad. Say hello, meet the clan down there. We've had some people, lots of people on Quick Tracker, like Kashif Ansari, Sidian Pandey, Adnan Ali, Jeet KC. They're all saying thank you very much and congratulations to Australia, I presume. That's about it, really.
Thanks for being with us.
There's
Quick
one more
Track.
tweet here just very quickly. Sarah Finnegan.
Hey!
Someone you knew, I thought it might be. Wants to know, before at Annie Chave casts any more aspersions on Manny, can someone ask her where her coat is? Where's your coat?
I left it in the pub last night.
Oh, all right then.
There you go.
You bitch, Sarah.
Well, are we like? Are you going to see it again, or do you think it's been?
Well, no, I
snaffled
rang.
away?
I did manage to ring the pub up, and Sarah, who is an actress, is acting in the pub. I'm in the theatre upstairs, so she's going to collect it for me. Thanks, Sarah.
Perfect.
Don't forget.
Had a few too many last night, then, didn't we?
I think I did. I can't believe that I managed to walk quite a long way without noticing I didn't have my coat.
Yeah, that's quite a man. That's how warm it is. Climate change, eh? God damn. Is that the end? We're off.
We are.
Okay. Play us the theme tune.
Thank you all very much indeed.
Annie? Theme tune. Theme tune. It's okay. I can't hear what Hendo's shouting. I can't hear you. Come in here and bloody tell us. It's in theme tunes. You have to go up. There you go. Number 2. We're out.